Chapter 473. Time passed day by day. McMao. After a few days of peace, things started to get lively again. The Grand Master banquet was imminent. MC Miyu started to decorate the place with lanterns and colored banners, waiting for the guests to arrive. Song Yingji had finally broken through, stepping into middle stage rank 6. The moment he came out of closed-door cultivation, Song Yingji seemed to be happy and sad at the same time. When Tang Feng, who had come out of closed-door cultivation 2 days earlier, came to congratulate him, Song Yingji wanted to cry but had no tears. "I should go home and do closed-door cultivation." "What happened?" Song Yingji said helplessly. "I met a tough guy. Qin Fengqing next door is too crazy. He keeps roaring. He disturbed me a few times. I wanted to beat him up, but I found out that this kid is using energy ores to blow up his internal organs to cultivate." Tang Feng was silent for a moment. Suddenly, he patted his daughter who was following him and sighed. "If you meet Qin Fengqing next time, stay away. Don't think that your father is a rank 7. If you meet this kind of tough guy, you have to give in." Tang Wen nodded hurriedly. Even a rank 6 instructor said he was tough. If her father wanted her to stay away, then it was best to stay far away. After reminding his daughter, Tang Feng glanced at Song Yingji and said helplessly, "There are still a lot of tough guys. That kid Fang Ping has been slashing at the sea for 7 days and 7 nights, slashing tens of thousands of times. Some islands near Magic City thought that a tsunami was coming. Many people were so scared that they moved." Song Yingji's expression stiffened. "He slashed a tsunami? These young people really don't know how to respect the old and love the young. Don't they know how to give in to us?" Thinking about it, Song Yingji still asked, "Has he broken through? Since this morning, that kid has stopped slashing. Lu Fengru is watching. She's guessing that he's going to break through. Is he going to break through?" Song Yingji smiled bitterly. Rank 6. MC Meiyu's first rank 6 student. MC Meiyu had never had a rank 6 student since its establishment. There were many rank 5s, but from rank 5 to rank 6, it often took decades of hard work. "Do you want to go take a look?" Tang Feng glanced at Song Yingji. Song Yingji's cultivation had been faster recently. It had not been long since he entered rank 6. It had only been about a year, and now he had already sealed one of his Sanjiao gates. Tang Feng felt that old Song's rapid cultivation had something to do with Fang Ping privately clamoring to beat him up. If that was the case, he would bring him to see Fang Ping's breakthrough. Perhaps old Song could break through to upper stage rank 6 very soon. Among the instructors, there were only 2 whom Fang Ping wanted to beat up in private. One was Tang Feng, the other was Song Yingji. Now that both of them had completed their breakthroughs at an extremely fast pace, Tang Feng felt that the necessary pressure was still necessary. Now that he had reached rank 7, there would be no danger for the time being. Perhaps Song Yingji could be given a little more pressure. Song Yingji didn't think too much about it at the moment. He nodded and said, "Then let's go take a look. Let's see if this kid can break through today." After saying that, the two of them did not delay any longer. Without bringing his daughter along, Tang Feng turned around and flew toward the southern sea with Song Yingji. In the sea, Fang Ping sat on top of a reef, resting his chin on his hand as he pondered. There was no need to pretend to be an expert with his eyes closed. At this moment, Fang Ping was summarizing the gains and losses of more than 10,000 slashes in the past 7 days. "On average, I cut 500 calories of vitality with each slash. 500,000 per slash. I cut more than 5 billion wealth. But I recover very quickly, so the consumption isn't that high. I spent more than 3 billion wealth." At this moment, Lu Fengru, who was far away, probably did not expect that Fang Ping was not thinking about breaking through, but was calculating how much he had spent. "I can spend more than 3 billion wealth just by practicing my swordsmanship. Other than me, no one else would do this." Fang Ping let his imagination run wild for a while. He looked at his stats again. Wealth, 92. 4 billion, converted, vitality, 5,999 calories, 5,999 calories, mentality, 899 Hz, 899 Hz, bones honed, 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90%. Storage space, 32 cubic meters, plus energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute. There were no changes in the stats of vitality and mentality. Compared to a few days ago, the only thing that changed was his wealth, which had decreased by a few billion. However, Fan Ping glanced at Lu Fengru, who was far away, and shouted suddenly, "Teacher, go to school and call more teachers and classmates over, okay?" "Huh!" Lu Fengru was stunned. Before she could speak, Fan Ping suddenly stood up, stepped into the air, and said loudly, "Teacher, I'm going back to school!" "Huh!" Lu Fengru was a little dazed. What was Fan Ping doing? Was he not preparing to break through the realm? Lu Fengru caught up quickly, frowning. "You still haven't located the location of the Sanjiao Gate?" Fan Ping nodded at first, then shook his head and said, "I'm not locating it. You'll know later. I'm thinking that going to the southern area of the school to break through might have a better effect." Lu Fengru was a little confused. What did he mean? Fan Ping did not say much. "I've been hacking like an idiot for 7 days and 7 nights. Today, I've unleashed my strongest saber. At least I'll let the people of MCMAU see how powerful Fan Ping's saber is. Fan Ping breaking through to rank 6, how domineering and cool would that be?" Once the saber was unleashed, the Sanjiao Gate would appear. "Have you seen it before?" Halfway there, Tang Feng and Lu Fengru rushed over. Seeing Fan Ping flying back, their expressions changed slightly. Could he not break through? Lu Fengru did not utter a word. At this moment, she seemed to have understood something. However, Lu Fengru really wanted to kill someone right now. Mother of asterisk Kerr. "I've been exposed to the sun and wind here just to see when you would break through. I was even wondering if you could not find the Sanjiao Gate." In the end, this little bastard's first thought was nothing else but to go and show off when he broke through. If it were not for the fact that it was inconvenient to disturb him now, she would have hacked Fan Ping to death with one slash. Lu Fengru knew what was going on, but Tang Feng and Song Yingji did not. Both of them were at a loss too, but they still followed Fan Ping and flew back. Very soon, everyone arrived at the coastline of the southern area of MCMAU. Fan Ping patrolled one round, landed on the shore, and let out a sudden roar. This roar attracted the attention of many people in the southern area. Fan Ping had not been seen for a few days. "Rank 6, only today!" The next moment, Fan Ping let out a roar, his voice echoing throughout MCMAU. A few short words instantly attracted the attention of countless people. Very soon, a group of powerhouses rushed over. Was Fan Ping rank 6? Before these people arrived, Fan Ping suddenly drew his saber and roared, "Slash!" With this roar, the waves on the surface of the sea surged. Sea break! In the blink of an eye, 100-meter-long saber glow erupted from the chaos-vanquishing saber. When the saber glow appeared, Fan Ping's essence, spirit, and spirit reached a peak. The next moment, 3 illusory Sanjiao Gates appeared above his head. Right now, the Sanjiao Gates were like a mirage, faintly discernible, in another space. As Fan Ping's saber slashed down, these 3 gigantic gates that looked like they came from ancient times were squeezing out continuously. The illusory gates gradually began to solidify. Far away, Song Yingji said in shock. "He didn't locate. He's going to pull out the Sanjiao Gates directly." When a normal person broke through to rank 6, they would first locate. After locating, they would slowly use energy to pull out the gates within. When you pulled out the first gate, you would have entered rank 6. Pulling it out also meant that the Sanjiao Gates entered the half-illusory, half-real state from its illusory state. This was also known as the materialization of the Sanjiao Gates. Early stage rank 6 had to pull out 3 gates and then seal one of them. Only then could one achieve middle stage rank 6. Many early stage rank 6 martial artists would need to spend a few months just to materialize the Sanjiao Gates. pulling out 3 gates from another illusory space was not an easy task. Right now, Fang Ping's body was like a furnace. He gathered all his strength and was forcefully pulling out the 3 gates at the same time. The vitality above his head almost pierced through that illusory space, piercing through that layer of space membrane and materializing the Sanjiao gates. Tang Feng was also very surprised. He mumbled, "The ancient books recorded the unity of man and nature, and the Sanjiao gates will appear automatically." Having said that, Tang Feng suddenly said, "But isn't it the same everywhere?" Why did Fang Ping run back all of a sudden? Beside him, Lu Fengrid did not say a word. Naturally, he ran back to let more people see. If only a few of them saw it, if word got out, others might not believe it. Right now, there were hundreds of people in the southern area. All of them looked dazed. This was majestic. Lu Fengru felt a little tired. This student of hers was thinking too fast. She could not keep up. In the midst of everyone's shock, the Sanjiao gates above Fang Ping's head was slowly materializing from an illusion. As for Fang Ping's saber gleam, although it was powerful, it did not cause as much vibration and destruction as before. Even the sound was emitted, there was not much fluctuation. The 100-meter-long saber gleam was like a goose feather, falling lightly. However, in the next moment, something that shocked everyone once again happened. The sea surface was split open. This saber had not yet landed, but the sea surface was split into 2. The seawater surged toward both sides, but there was a hollow space in the middle. It was only at this moment that Fang Ping's saber gleam landed completely. Boom! A sound was heard. The seawater flowed backward, the waves surging. Some of the mud from the bottom of the sea gushed out instantly, filling up the empty space just now. A large number of fishes and prawns were shattered in an instant. Streaks of blood appeared in the water. "Condense!" Fang Ping roared again. Only then did everyone notice the 3 gates above Fang Ping's head again. At this moment, among the 3 huge gates, 2 of them had already turned into a half-real, half-illusory appearance. The last gate was also forcefully pulled outward by Fang Ping. Once again, his vitality penetrated the void, like a beacon. "Appear!" Rumble. In the void, it was as if 3 gates were really being pulled out, the rumbling sounds ceaselessly. Outside, among the crowd, Qin Fengqing, who was slightly irritated by the noise, had just come out from the energy room. When he saw this scene, Qin Fengqing suddenly felt like crying. Comparing oneself to others would really infuriate one to death. He had cultivated painstakingly. Until now, his internal organs had not even been honed by half. If he wanted to enter middle stage rank 5, there was still a long way to go. But Fang Ping! With a casual slash of his saber, the Sanjiao gate appeared by itself. Moreover, it was 3 gates at once. "He's already rank 6. I'm rank 3. He's an aspiring martial artist. I'm rank 5. He's rank 6. Qin Fengqing's eyes were red. "I want to borrow a shoulder to cry on for 3 days and 3 nights. It was really too sad. So sad that he did not want to cultivate anymore." In the next moment, Qin Fengqing turned around and ran. He saw Fang Ping looking at him. That devil was looking at him. He was coming to show off to him. While his Sanjiao gate had not condensed completely, he should run first. If he did not run, he would be attacked crazily later. He could not stand this injustice. "Is Qin Fengqing all right?" Fang Ping glanced at Qin Fengqing from the corner of his eye. Why was that guy running so fast? Did he lose money? He could not care less about Qin Fengqing. At this moment, the last gate had been squeezed out completely. Boom! The void shook. The 3 gates seemed to be sitting in this world, beginning to absorb the energy around them madly. As for Fang Ping, he could also feel the energy coming from inside the gates. This power was nourishing him in return. From the 3 open gates, waves of energy gushed out. Although no energy passageway was built, Fang Ping could clearly feel that this immense energy was gushing into his body, changing his physique and honing his muscles and bones. This energy was not celestiality, nor was it mentality or vitality force. It was more like life force. No, it was like the power of sunlight. He was like a blade of grass, absorbing this energy continuously. The half-golden body was squirming continuously, becoming more and more transparent. The golden bones were also absorbing this energy from the unknown region. The golden light was even more dazzling. Mentality was also being tempered over and over again, tumbling. This feeling made Fang Ping feel like he was walking on air. He was almost about to forget where he was. After an unknown amount of time, Fang Ping's body suddenly trembled, leaving this feeling. The next moment, Fang Ping suddenly felt extremely uncomfortable. His whole body was leaking air. It was not leaking air. The Sanjiao Gate seemed to be leaking energy. In the past, Fang Ping did not feel the loss of his vitality and mentality deeply. He could not even feel it. However, at this moment, Fang Ping felt it. The 3 gates were leaking some energy. The first door revealed the power of blood qi. The second gate was leaking mentality. The third gate was leaking vitality. Fang Ping's pupils contracted suddenly. He mumbled, "Can I live forever if I seal the third Sanjiao gate? Could a peak rank 6 live forever?" This gate was sealed. Vitality was no longer leaking. If vitality was no longer leaking, what was it if not longevity? Martial artists don't seek longevity. The next moment, a cold and stern bellow rang out. The one who spoke was not Lu Fengru, but Tang Feng. Tang Feng stepped on the air and shouted, "A peak rank 6 can't live forever. We martial artists don't seek longevity either. Immortality will only make you greedy for life and afraid of death. When it's time to die, whether the gate is sealed or not, what's the difference?" Fang Ping was speechless. "I just said that, and Big Lion got angry. I've cultivated to this point. I just want to understand a martial artist's lifespan. Big Lion's temper is really fiery. After reaching rank 7, he's starting to be arrogant again." Fang Ping seriously suspected that Big Lion pretended to rely on him before. Was he deliberately showing weakness, waiting for rank 7 to become arrogant and then deal with him? It was very possible. Big shady guy. There was no time to care about him. Fang Ping did not take the initiative to let the Sanjiao Gate retreat. He held the Sanjiao Gate, showing off while looking at the changes in the data. Wealth, 92. 4 billion, converted, vitality, 4,500 calories, 6,999 calories, mentality, 250 Hz, 929 Hz, bones honed, 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90%. Storage space, 32 cubic meters, plus energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute. So strong? Fang Ping's pupils contracted. That energy earlier, what kind of energy was it? In just a moment, his vitality had actually increased by 1,000 calories upper limit. The upper limit of vitality was not just a matter of vitality. It also included the strength of the entire body. Fang Ping suddenly blasted a punch. Boom! A loud explosion was heard. The entire coast collapsed in an instant. Seeing that, Tang Feng suddenly shouted, 50 million. Mother of asterisk Kerr, this kid was fined 30 million a few days ago. Now, I've seized the opportunity. Fang Ping could not be bothered with him. With a look of indifference, he said, "Deduct it. The school still owes me. Let's just say it's 5 billion. It was just a beach. If it collapsed, so be it. Deducting 50 million from me? Fine, I don't care. Do you think I'm as poor as you?" At this moment, Fang Ping stared at the beach that had collapsed tens of meters in circumference. Suddenly, he broke into a grin. So strong! He did not expect that in just a moment, his strength would skyrocket by a large margin. He did not feel any discomfort with this kind of skyrocketing. In martial arts cultivation, this kind of situation was very rare. Under normal circumstances, there was a gradual process. This time, however, the moment the 3 doors appeared, he did not know what it absorbed that made him much stronger rapidly. 6,999 calories vitality, 929 hertz mentality. I think I'm not far from becoming a grandmaster, Fan Ping muttered in his heart. Right now, he was not considered to have achieved mentality vitality unity. If the Sanjiao Gate was not sealed, he could not achieve mentality vitality unity, even if his mentality was extremely strong. His heaven and earth power was not achieved by combining his mind power and vitality force, but by relying on the system. However, Fan Ping felt that he might not need to achieve mentality vitality unity. With the Sanjiao Gate sealed, he could directly enter rank 7 and materialize his mentality. It's not just a possibility, it's a certainty. Not only that, maybe I'll achieve the stage of mentality materialization in advance. What should I do then? Fan Ping shook his head. His current realm was not easy to calculate. When his mentality materialized in advance, would he be considered rank 7 or rank 6? Or would he be considered rank 8? I don't understand. Fan Ping was too lazy to figure it out. He looked around. Qin Feng Qin did not come back? Old Qin ran away just now. Could he be hiding from him? Qin Feng Qin was not around. Fan Ping's eyes suddenly lit up. He looked at Song Yingji, who was not far away, and laughed. Instructor Song, you're back. I'm so happy that you can come back safely. You even witnessed me crossing the stage of rank 6 in 1/. It's so exciting. In the past, Fan Ping still remembered old Song's words. I'm rank 6. Now Fan Ping laughed and said, Instructor, I'm rank 6. After saying that, Fan Ping added, I'm 20 years old this year. In a few days, it'll be my 20th birthday. Instructor Song, I'll treat you. Song Yingji glanced at Fan Ping, then at Tang Feng. Suddenly, he turned around and left. He wanted to go down to the catacombs. Yes, he had just returned. He wanted to go again now. Don't stop me. Tang Feng guessed what he wanted to do. He glared at Fan Ping fiercely. This kid really deserved a beating. The next moment, Tang Feng grabbed Song Yingji, coughed softly and said, In 2 days, the school will treat us. Don't go now. Although he wanted to try and see if he could provoke Song Yingji, this bastard Fan Ping had gone too far. How heartbreaking! He even had to add that he was going to be 20 years old in a few days. Even Tang Feng wanted to strike him dead. Song Yingji did not say a word. He stared at Fan Ping quietly. If this bastard continued to provoke him, he would fight it out with him. Lu Fengra looked at Fan Ping. She also felt a little tired. Too lazy to speak, she used the flight step and left. Around them, the crowd was also discussing. Fan Ping, 20 years old, broke through rank 6. Sophomore year, not over yet. 2010, March 30th. Fan Ping broke through rank 6. This was also a new record. Even if Commander Li of the military department was a rank 6 at 20 years old, it was still a different concept from Fan Ping. 2008, April. Fan Ping came into contact with martial arts. In less than 2 years, Fan Ping had achieved something that many people could not achieve in their lifetime. MC Miyu, and the entire martial arts university, might give birth to the first grandmaster in history who had not yet graduated. This was a record that had never been broken before. Grandmaster. That was a completely different concept. Fan Ping might even break the record of the youngest grandmaster. As for Fan Ping, after showing off for a while, he said loudly, Today, I broke through rank 6. It's better to have fun together than to have fun alone. All the students in the university will receive 1 gram of cultivating energy stone for free. The president is mighty. Flattery was heard soon after. Recently, there were too many happy events in MC Mayu. Many of the students' faces were almost blooming with smiles. It was just a pity that Dean Tang had broken through a few days ago. It was such a pity that the president did not celebrate with them. Not far away, Wu Quishan was too lazy to say anything. This kid, he was relying on his credits, wasn't he? After a few times, let's see how much he had left. However, he could understand Fang Ping's intentions. He was just taking the opportunity to give some benefits to the students. It all depended on whether these students could seize the opportunity and keep up with these prodigies. Wu Kuxian glanced around and sighed softly. There was probably no hope. Not only the students, but even most of the instructors had been surpassed. The rank 6 Fang Ping had performed that slash just now. Now that he was up against the evil sect peak rank 6, without celestiality, it was hard to say who would win. Besides, Wu Kuxian glanced at Fang Ping's Sanjiao gate. Until now, Fang Ping had not hidden it. He could feel the loss of energy. Most importantly, he realized a very important problem. Fang Ping could still fight at full strength. Yes, Fang Ping's vitality was full. He did not seem to care about the loss of energy. Yes, this kid can do this. When Wu Kuxian thought of this, he suddenly sympathized with Fang Ping's future opponent. One might think that he could not go all out, but this kid just had to go all out. This was scary. What Wu Kuxian noticed, Fang Ping naturally noticed too. Fang Ping did not care too much. It was just a little loss of energy. He did not need to use the energy in the Sanjiao Gate. Chapter 474. On the 30th of March, Fang Ping successfully broke through and entered rank 6. On the 1st of April, the rank 5 ranking list was updated. Fang Ping had only entered the ranking list for a short while. He had always occupied the first place, but he disappeared from the rank 5 ranking list in an instant. His disappearance also caused countless people to discuss it. This martial arts prodigy who had just risen to fame broke through again and became a rank 6 powerhouse. Wang Jinyang, who was rank 2nd, did not become first. CC Meiyu Li Hansong, a new force, rose to the top of rank 5 with a draw against an upper stage rank 6. On the day of the MCMAU battle, President Liu of the Martial Arts Association and Minister Wang of the Education Department were both present. In terms of combat strength, Li Hansong seemed to be better than Wang Jinyang. Li Hansong was first, Wang Jinyang was second, Yao Qingjun was fifth. Qin Fengqing did not enter the ranking list. When the rank 5 ranking list was updated, Qin Fengqing really could not stand this injustice. Why? Qin Fengqing was about to explode. He felt like he was about to die from anger. Among the 5 people who fought that day, Fang Ping was rank 6, and the other 3 were in the top 10 of the rank 5 ranking list. Why did he, Qin Fengqing, not even get the bottom of the ranking list? It was not that he really cared about this title, but it was a little too embarrassing. Fang Ping saw that he was furious and rubbed his forehead. While writing a document, he said perfunctorily, "Don't jump around here. Go to the Martial Arts Association and ask them to put you on the ranking list." Qin Fengqing said unhappily. "Where can I find them? They don't even care about me." The Martial Arts Association had grandmasters. Qin Fengqing did not have that much influence, but Fang Ping did. Although the rank 6 Fang Ping did not enter the rank 6 ranking list, the Martial Arts Association had actually discussed it once before. Middle stage rank 5 Fang Ping had killed a peak rank 6 martial artist. Now that Fang Ping had entered rank 6, it was difficult to judge how strong he was because there was no matching battle record. However, the Martial Arts Association unanimously agreed that this guy's strength was probably not weaker than the peak rank 6 powerhouses at the bottom of the ranking list. However, after some discussion, they still did not let Fang Ping enter the ranking list. At least, before this guy showed a matching battle record again, it was not a good thing to raise these prodigies too much. As for the rank 6 ranking list powerhouses, even if they did not rely on MC Meiyu, they would still be top-notch powerhouses in Sino Nation. Today, Fang Ping no longer needed to treat him as a young martial artist. Fang Ping put down his pen and massaged his temples. Feeling a headache coming on, he said, "Then don't bother me, okay? Didn't you avoid me when you saw me 2 days ago? Why are you looking for me now?" Ever since he entered rank 6, Qin Fengqing would avoid him whenever he saw him, not wanting to meet him at all. Now, this fellow had taken the initiative to look for him, Fan Ping guessed that it was nothing good. Sure enough, the list was just Qin Fengqing's opening remarks. With a dry cough, Qin Fengqing quickly said, Lend me some money, I've run out of energy stones, scram. Fan Ping flew into a rage and scolded. 1 caddy of energy stones and so many energy fruits. Are you eating them like jelly beans? It's only been a few days, and you've already used it all up. Qin Fengqing, do you really think that energy stones are like dirt that can be found everywhere? Do you know that other people would fight to the death for a gram of energy stones? You should know better than anyone else how rare these things are. Don't you have any shame in wasting them like this? Fan Ping was indeed a little angry. 1 caddy was not a small amount. Wan Jinyang and Yao Qingjun had gotten so many energy stones that their faces were blooming with smiles. Both of them had definitely not used much. Qin Fengqing, on the other hand, had run out of energy. Qin Fengqing said somewhat sheepishly, No, that. Anyway, my celestial bridge consumes energy faster. I didn't cultivate much, and it's all gone. Do you think I want it to be like this? Fan Ping's expression did not look too good. This fellow was a gold-swallowing beast among gold-swallowing beasts. The key was that after swallowing so much, he had yet to achieve middle stage rank 5. From peak rank 4 until now, how many energy stones had this fellow used? In the mineral vein provided by Qin Fengqing, he had dug out a lot of energy stones, but these energy stones were used by thousands of people in the school. Qin Fengqing alone had spent 7 caddy. Even Tang Feng and the rest did not spend so much to break through to rank 7. Seeing Fan Ping's ugly expression, Qin Fengqing said sadly, The key is that I'm not allowed to enter the catacombs now. I don't have a place to do these even if I wanted to. Why don't you talk to the military department and let me enter the catacombs? Not at the moment. Fan Ping shook his head and said impatiently, The Magic City catacombs incident has just calmed down. Everyone wants to rest for a few days. Why would they let you in? When the Tianan catacombs opens, there won't be this restriction anymore. How long do we have to wait? Soon. Fan Ping said casually. Finally, he glanced at him and frowned. It's not right for you to eat energy stones like this. It's too wasteful. Qin Fengqing felt helpless. What else could he do? Fan Ping pondered for a moment. Suddenly, he said, Aren't you not afraid of death? If you really want to speed up your cultivation, then go to the Celestiality cultivation room and use Celestiality to temper your vital organs. Qin Fengqing's expression changed. He said dryly, You won't stop until you kill me? Fan Ping's heart was too evil. Even rank 6 martial artists only used Celestiality to analyze it. It was not used directly for cultivation. Celestiality was very strong. It was much stronger than the energy from energy stones alone. Once it exploded in the body, it would really be blown to pieces. Although he was crazy, he did not want to die. Fan Ping stood up. He paced back and forth for a while. After thinking for a while, he said, A typical rank 5 using Celestiality to cultivate is suicide. It's hard to say. Of course, it's definitely very dangerous, especially if your internal organs are using Celestiality to cultivate. After pondering for a moment, Fan Ping gritted his teeth and said, The officials have a fixed price for life essence. 10 million per gram. Most people can't buy it. I guarantee on MC Mayu's name that I'll buy 100 grams for you. If you use life essence to protect your internal organs and use Celestiality to hone them, although it's still dangerous, it'll be much less. 1 billion. It's still better than you endlessly wasting energy stones. If you really want to cultivate to middle stage rank 5 as soon as possible, this is the fastest way. It's also the best way. Otherwise, you won't be able to finish honing your internal organs in a short period of time. I'll do it. This time, Qin Fengqing agreed without hesitation. He actually bought 100 grams of life essence for him. Fan Ping, this kid, had a great conscience. Fan Ping's expression was ugly. Qin Fengqing, you have to know that this thing is not supplied to the public. If I help you buy it in MC Mayu's name, that means that MC Mayu might not be able to buy it in the future. Many rank 6 instructors and deans are eyeing this covetously. If you, Qin Fengqin, take it, you'll be taking up MC Mayu's share. This is no longer a matter of money. You're an early-stage rank 5 martial artist. What contribution do you have to MC Mayu? I can lend you 1 billion, but I've already said that this isn't just a matter of money. Qin Fengqin touched his bald head. This was true. The government did not have a lot of life essence. They would not sell it to the public without a limit. MC Mayu could probably use the university's name to purchase 100 grams. It would not be a big problem. However, everyone wanted this thing, including those grandmaster powerhouses. Although he, Qin Fengqin, was also one of the prodigies of the current generation and could use the university's share to satisfy his cultivation, he was still not Fang Ping and did not have the qualifications. After thinking for a long time, Qin Fengqin suddenly gritted his teeth and said, "I'll sign a 10-year contract with the university." Fang Ping raised his eyebrows. 10 years? Including this 1 billion, you'll owe 3 billion. You're not the only instructor with a 10-year contract. Then 20 years it is. Qin Fengqin continued gritting his teeth. Seeing that Fang Ping was still silent, he said angrily, 30 years, will that do? I don't even know if I can live past 30 years. Even if I sign for 100 years, what can I do? Fang Ping heard that and nodded. Then 100 years it is. It doesn't matter how long it is. You just have to answer to the university and the instructors. You, Qin Fengqin, will work in MCMAU for 100 years. You're the only one. If the life essence is given to you, the others will have nothing to say. Qin Fengqin's face darkened. You're really asking for 100 years? Then my benefits in the future, there won't be any basic benefits. They'll all be used to pay off the debt. The catacombs harvest will still be the same as before. Fang Ping, you're too evil. Qin Fengqin pulled a long face and said gloomily, You want me to work for 100 years for free? Do you still have any humanity left? Fang Ping said indifferently, You said it yourself. You'll talk about it after you live for 100 years. Moreover, if you become stronger in the future, such as becoming a rank 9 paragon, you'll be a big shot. Can I still restrict you? Don't you think this makes sense? However, if you don't become a rank 9 paragon and become crippled, it means that the university will have to feed you for 100 years for nothing. No matter how you look at it, you'll gain. You're just a rank 5 martial artist. How can you think of this kind of treatment? Now, a bunch of rank 6 martial artists want to enter MCMAU to teach. Even I have to think about whether to recruit people or not. I'm only giving you this chance because your father is a member of MCMAU and you're also a member of MCMAU. Think about it. Among the rank 5 martial artists besides you, who else has better treatment? Qin Fengqin sighed helplessly. Then will you pay for the life essence this time? That's fine too. In this case, you owe me 3 billion. In the future, your benefits in the university every year will be as interest. What? Didn't I offset the debt? Qin Fengqin was dumbfounded. Only as interest? Fang Ping said lightly. 10% annual interest, 300 million interest a year. You're a rank 5 instructor. I'm giving you a few 100 million a year. Are you still not satisfied? I'm not in a hurry to collect the debt. When you're capable, it's not too late to pay. Qin Fengqin's expression changed again and again. In the end, he gritted his teeth and said, Fine. Fang Ping did not waste any time. He quickly wrote an IOU and took out a model instructor agreement, tossing it over. Sign it. I'll help you apply for life essence later. 100 grams of life essence plus celestiality. If you can't reach middle stage rank 5, then you're useless. In the future, you're not allowed to borrow money from me. The more capable you are, the more you can eat. You, Qin Fengqin, have lost all your dignity before rank 7. You don't have that much to ask for anymore. Qin Fengqin did not utter a word. He quickly signed. He would think about it after he reached middle stage rank 5. As for the cultivation after that, he would probably be able to enter the catacombs by then. He would think of a way after he entered the catacombs. Fang Ping did not waste any more time. He tossed the agreement aside and put the IOU into the drawer. Qin Fengqin glanced at it from the corner of his eyes. When he saw the drawer full of IOUs, he could not help but curse. Huan Shuren! How many high-interest loans did this kid give out? Also, if he stole it and went to collect the debt, would he be able to get it back? Fang Ping grinned. What are you talking about? I'm kind enough to lend you money for cultivation. The interest is not high either. I'm not even in a hurry to collect the debt. How is that a crime? With your character, Qin Fengqin, who else would lend you money other than me? Touch your conscience. If I didn't sponsor you, would you have reached rank 5 so quickly? Qin Fengqin mumbled for a while. He had nothing good to say anyway. It sounded reasonable, but he still felt like he had suffered a loss. Anyway, that was how it felt. Carrying a huge debt of 3 billion. Signing a 100-year contract to work for free. Qin Fengqin did not dwell on these sad things anymore. He reminded Fang Ping to pass the life essence to him as soon as possible. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly glanced at the office desk and asked curiously, What are you writing? The school was holding a Grand Master banquet tomorrow. Everyone else had come out of closed-door cultivation and started to get busy. Fang Ping, on the other hand, was not busy with that. Instead, he locked himself in the office and wrote something. It's none of your business. Fang Ping brushed him off casually. Qin Fengqin was not in a hurry to leave. He sat opposite him and thought for a while. The incident with those fellows in Star Town last time, has it ended? What incident? The World Youth Martial Arts Competition. The matter of getting a place in the restricted zone. The martial arts competition is still too early. It will only be held after a while. Moreover, we don't have the qualifications to participate. Why are you worrying about it? This doesn't fit your personality. Qin Fengqin was a little suspicious. He asked curiously. Logically, since you already know, you should be encouraging the Vice-Chancellor and the others to go to the Education Ministry to make a scene. I won't say anything. You've reached rank 6. Don't you have any ideas? Fang Ping said indifferently. Why am I thinking about this? If I really want to go to the restricted zone, who can stop me? I can go there even if I dig through Mount Yuhai. If I'm careful, those paragons might not be able to find me. It's fine if they're too lazy to go. The restricted zone might not be that beneficial. Moreover, the difference in strength is too big now. I'm only rank 6. The Vice-Chancellor and the others are only rank 8. If we provoke enemies in the restricted zone, those paragons will just wait for death if they don't help us. Qin Fengqin thought about it and felt that it made sense. They could not help it. It was still better now. Although the small regions were strong, they had not reached the point where they could not help it at all. If they really provoked the paragons, then it would be dangerous. What about Star Town? Fang Ping glanced at him and frowned. What do you want now? Do you really want to rob Star Town? If you have the time, talk to those people in Star Town yourself and see if you can become their son-in-law. I still have things to do. I don't have time to chat with you. Qin Fengqin did not utter a word. He stretched his neck and glanced at what Fang Ping had written. Then, he shook his head, feeling a little dizzy. What are you doing? I need to use it tomorrow. There are many guests at the Grand Master banquet this time. There are people from all forces. I want to discuss it with everyone. It's an arduous and thankless task. You're crazy! Qin Fengqin felt that Fang Ping was a little crazy. Why was he poking his nose into other people's business at this time? Fang Ping ignored him. Why do you care what I do? Moreover, he had nothing better to do now. When he reached rank 6, what he needed to do was to seal his Sanjiao Gate. However, sealing the Sanjiao Gate was not something that could be done overnight. Moreover, there seemed to be no way to speed up sealing the Sanjiao Gate. At this moment, the system was useless. The only thing Fang Ping could do was to seal these portals bit by bit. Moreover, because his vitality and mentality were stronger, it was more difficult for him to seal the portals. If the rank 6 portals were to be sealed, it would probably take some time. As the two of them were talking, Zhang Yu knocked on the door and entered. Seeing that Qin Fengqing was also there, he did not ask much. He said quickly, "Vice-Chancellor Chen from SCMAU has brought people here. Fang Ping, do you want to receive them?" "Vice-Chancellor Chen is here." Fang Ping was a little surprised. "Vice-Chancellor Chen has broken through to rank 8 this time. I thought he would be in closed-door cultivation for a while." Previously, SCMAU also replied that the Vice-Chancellor was coming. Why did the old man suddenly come? Zhang Yu shook his head. "I don't know about that. Vice-Chancellor Chen is in the living room chatting with Vice-Chancellor Huang and the others. I came to inform them." Fang Ping nodded. Beside him, Qin Fengqing suddenly said, "Is Chen Haoren here?" "He's here." "Why?" Chen Haoren was the president of SCMAU Martial Arts Society and Qin Yaoting's grandson. Naturally, Qin Yaoting would bring him along to see the world. Qin Fengqing squinted his eyes, rubbed his big bald head habitually, and said happily, "It's good that he's here. This guy still owes me a debt." He had not forgotten that the guy had stepped on his head last year. He did not have the time to look for him previously. Now that the guy had come to MC Mayu was his territory. Fang Ping glanced at him and said lightly, "His grandfather is a rank 8. So what? Can old Chen do anything to me in MC Mayu? It's shameless of him to meddle in the affairs of us youngsters." Qin Fengqing said it disapprovingly. Fang Ping also disapproved. It was hard to say. The old man was not that shameless to begin with. If he really bullied you, you had to admit it. Fang Ping did not care about Qin Fengqing. He stood up and said, "I'll go take a look then." Vice-Chancellor Chen killed 2 peak rank 7 chieftains this time. It's a rare feat. I was thinking of going to congratulate him after a while, but now it saved me the trouble. Fang Ping was about to walk out when he turned around and glanced at Qin Fengqing, who had not left yet. He suddenly returned to his original position and put away all the IOUs in the drawer. This guy was not leaving. Was he going to steal the IOUs to collect the debt? Then, Fang Ping tossed the employment agreement on the table to Zhang Yu and said, "Take this to the University Council and register it. Qin Fengqing has signed a 100-year employment agreement. If there's anything in the school, throw it to him. The school doesn't keep idle people." Zhang Yu stared at Qin Fengqing in shock. Amazing! Other people signed 3 to 5 years, but he signed a 100-year one? He was selling his entire life. Qin Fengqing glared at him with an unfriendly expression and said impatiently, "What are you looking at? Haven't you seen people selling their bodies to repay their debts? At least I sold it for a good price. Can you sell it for that much?" Zhang Yu held back his laughter and said, "So, you're saying that you feel very honored? None of your business." Qin Fengqing cursed. He ignored them and left quickly. Chapter 475. In the reception hall. Qin Yaoting was chatting with Huang Jing and the others when he saw Fang Ping jogging through the door. As soon as he entered, before anyone could say anything, Fang Ping said with a face full of smiles, "Congratulations to old Chen for breaking through to rank 8 and forging a golden body. You're immortal and indestructible, and your might is known throughout the world." Qin Yaoting glanced at him and smiled faintly. "Forget about the flattery. You're already a rank 6, so you should have the bearing of a powerhouse." This kid's breakthrough speed was beyond imagination. It was July of year 09 when he first met Fang Ping, a rank 3 martial artist. Now, only 8 or 9 months had passed, and he was already a rank 6. Some people didn't keep track of this speed. Otherwise, they would be so shocked that their jaws dropped. However, he had already reached rank 6, and this kid did not seem to have the demeanor of a powerhouse. Qin Yaoting did not know what to say. Fang Ping smiled ingratiatingly. "Even if I'm a rank 8, I'm still a child in front of old Qin. Besides, I'm only 19.5 years old. I'm indeed a child, cough, cough, cough. At the side, Huang Jing coughed softly. Even if they were shameless, MC Mayu was. Qin Yaoting could not help but laugh. Chen Haoren, who was standing behind him, looked even more embarrassed. Yes, he was very embarrassed. He felt that what Fang Ping said made him blush on Fang Ping's behalf. Fang Ping could not be bothered with Chen Haoren. This fellow looked so awkward that Fang Ping felt that there was no need to remind him. Initially, he wanted to remind him that Qin Feng Qing was going to cause trouble for him. Now it seemed that it was better to let old Qin beat him up. After saying a few words of congratulations, Fang Ping took out a transparent crystal box from his arms. He grinned and said, "Old Chen, you've broken through to rank 8. I didn't prepare anything. This is a small gift from me. Take it as a token of my appreciation." Having said that, Fang Ping placed the box on the table. Qin Yaoting glanced at it and raised his eyebrows slightly. Beside him, Huang Jing and Tang Feng could not help but glance at this fellow. Is this kid going to betray us? Tang Feng and Lu Fengri's breakthrough. All right, he had given them the divine weapon, so he would not talk about it. Old Qin is an outsider. Didn't you say that you didn't have many hundred honing fruits left? What's more, Qin Yaoting didn't need it. Wasn't it a waste? Qin Yaoting was slightly surprised. This kid Fang Ping had become more generous now. As he was thinking about it, Fang Ping chuckled and said, "Old Qin broke through to rank 8, and I also entered rank 6 at almost the same time. This is really fate." Hearing this, Qin Yaoting's face stiffened. "So, you want me to give you a gift to congratulate you on achieving rank 6? This brat first gave some gifts, and now he wants to get more back?" At the side, Wang Jing and Tang Feng had the urge to cover their faces. Was it necessary? Fang Ping saw that Qin Yaoting's expression was stiff. He coughed dryly and said, "Old Qin, I still owe you half a heart essence that day. Why don't you just give it to me?" Qin Yaoting couldn't help but laugh again. So this was what it was all about. He had only been joking back then. If he really wanted it, he would have taken it long ago. Why would he have waited until now? However, this kid was a straightforward person. He still remembered this matter. A few hundred tempering fruits were worth more than half a heart pith. In reality, the difference wasn't that great. However, the 100 tempering fruits were slightly harder to obtain. Thinking of this, Qin Yaoting smiled and said, "Since you mentioned it yourself, I'll take it as a gift for your breakthrough." "Thank you, Old Qin." Fang Ping thanked him hurriedly. Huang Jing and Tang Feng were a little surprised. Did this kid really take it seriously? 100 tempering fruits. Even if you wanted to give it to me, you shouldn't have given me so many. Fang Ping did not care about this. He said casually, "Old Chen, Yinxi achieved middle stage rank 4 2 days ago. Her cultivation from now on will mainly be honing her internal organs. The 100 tempering fruits are quite effective." Everyone understood what he meant. "Don't think that I'm giving it to you. In reality, I'm not giving it to you. The 100 tempering fruits should be given to Qin Yinxi. As for Chen Haoren, who's drooling with envy, don't even think about it." This time, Qin Yaoting laughed for real. He said, "All right, stop fooling around. I'll give these 100 tempering fruits to Yinxi later." Behind him, Chen Haoren felt lost. The old man had spoken. This meant that there was no more for him. Fang Ping did not care what he thought. Old Chen's debt had been repaid, and he had one less worry to worry about. Without thinking too much, Fang Ping chuckled and sat down beside Tang Feng. The Grandmasters did not say anything. Chen Haoren, on the other hand, felt that he really needed to leave. It was too hurtful. He was the junior of the juniors here. Not to mention sitting, even if he stood, he had to stand up straight. As for Fang Ping, people could not be compared to each other. Fang Ping came in and talked and laughed. He even sat down so naturally. Everyone looked as if it was only natural. This attitude. Chen Haoren felt that he should go out and get some fresh air. It was really difficult to feel Fang Ping's influence in MC Meiyu without going to MC Meiyu. Chen Haoren's emotions were fluctuating, but Fang Ping really did not care. At this time, Fang Ping stopped fooling around. He listened to the Grand Master's conversation with a serious attitude. Seeing his attitude, Qin Yaoting and the others did not bother with him anymore. They continued the previous topic. Qin Yaoting said, "I'm afraid the opening of Tiannan's catacombs this time will be a fierce battle. Currently, the number of martial arts universities high ranks that have been recruited is close to 30. Huang Jing frowned. That means that at least 100 high ranks will be gathered when Tiannan's catacombs opens. Martial arts universities were not the main force of the catacombs battle. The main force was the military department. Martial arts universities had already recruited 30 grandmasters. The military department would only have more. In addition to the House of Guardians, the hundreds of grandmasters gathered when Tiannan's catacombs opened was not considered a lot. As they were talking, Fang Ping could not help but whisper, "Old Chen, Vice-Chancellor, the military department is recruiting martial arts grandmasters?" Huang Jing nodded slightly. "I didn't tell you about yesterday's matter regarding our recruitment order. This time, MC Meiyu. 3 people are being recruited. Old Wu must go. The other 2 will be decided by MC Meiyu." MC Meiyu wants 3 grandmasters? Fang Ping was a little surprised. Then, he said with some dissatisfaction, "That's too much." It was not that MC Meiyu did not want to contribute. It was just that recruiting 3 people at once was indeed too much. In Magic City's catacombs, MC Meiyu also needed grandmasters to hold the fort. Lu Pola would probably go to Magic City's catacombs. In this way, excluding Old Li, out of the 5 high grandmasters, 4 were directly recruited. Huang Jing did not care too much about this. Instead, he said in a low voice, "It doesn't matter how many people there are. But this time, the scope of the recruitment order is wider. Martial arts universities currently have a total of 62 high-ranked people. This time, when Tiannan's catacombs opened, half of them were recruited. This ratio only happened during the capital city's catacombs battle back then. Gathering 100 high-ranked people, that only happened during the capital city's catacombs battle back then. I'm worried, this time, the situation in Tiannan's catacombs is worse than expected. It might turn into an all-out war." Qin Yaoting also sighed. "This is indeed a possibility. Tiannan's catacombs has a total of 11 cities, 11 rank 9 castellans, 11 guardian monster plants and beasts, and about 100 rank 7s and 8s. Among the 23 catacombs in Sino Nation, it's considered one of the weaker catacombs. And now, since so many people have gathered, I'm afraid the government and the military department will most likely judge that an all-out war is going to happen. Under normal circumstances, if it was not an all-out war, the number of human grandmasters would be slightly fewer than the other party to avoid unnecessary conflicts. But now, Tiannan's catacombs had not opened yet, and the military department was already mobilizing. Fang Ping deduced in his heart. Could it be that those paragon progenitors had received news that the situation this time was extremely bad? Old Chen, are you going too? Qin Yaoting nodded slightly. South Capital Martial Arts University's strength was not considered strong. At least, in terms of grandmasters, he was the only one. He had just broken through to rank 8. In martial arts universities, he was also one of the peak combat strength. With so many grandmasters being recruited, and SC Meiyu being one of the top 10 elite schools, he had to go. Fang Ping's heart felt slightly heavy. It seemed like Tiannan's catacombs opening was going to be a big deal. 100 grandmasters had gathered. This time, how many people would not make it back? In Sino Nation, there were currently more than 450 grandmasters in rank 7, 8, and 9. So many people were guarding 23 catacombs. Now, 100 grandmasters had gathered in Tiannan alone. It was terrifying. Qin Yaoting and the others did not care about Fang Ping's thoughts and continued chatting. After a while, Fang Ping interrupted again. Vice-Chancellor, will the paragon progenitors make a move this time? Huang Jing muttered. Usually not. The possibility is not high. Including the capital city catacombs battle, there was no situation where the Paragon progenitors fought. I wasn't very clear about the Paragon progenitors in the past, but now I have a rough understanding. Both sides are mostly facing off and restraining each other. And the catacombs' restricted zone's attitude is only one thing. We can't outnumber them. If we outnumber them, on one hand, their restricted zone will send reinforcements. On the other hand, they will also encourage the cities and other areas to exert pressure on us. That's why every time there is a war, our numbers are actually fewer than theirs. Of course, it won't be by too much. This is also some of the rights that the Paragon progenitors have fought for us. Otherwise, just from the perspective of the Paragon progenitors, I'm afraid we would have been wiped out a long time ago. There was a huge difference in the number of powerhouses between humans and the catacombs. If it were not for those Paragon progenitors restraining them, they might have really been wiped out. Thinking of this, Fang Ping rubbed his chin and said, "Even if our Paragon progenitors are fewer than theirs, it should not be by much. If that's the case, we're not considered too weak. Why is it that when we've reached the high rank stage, the gap is so big?" Qin Yaoting chuckled. "Do you know which era our Paragon progenitors are from?" "It's hard to say. Maybe it was a few hundred years ago, maybe it was a few thousand years ago. That's also hard to say. As for the martial artists today, they're all modern martial artists. There was a period of nirvana in the world of martial arts. I don't know if human martial arts were prosperous before that, or if they were stronger than the catacombs. However, there are traces of a period of nirvana in the human martial arts. It's not the same for the catacombs. They've always been in a period of martial arts prosperity. Their city lords are all hundreds of years old. Some rank 7 martial artists are also more than 100 years old. When it comes to cultivation speed, they're actually not as good as us. It's just the accumulation of time. In the past 100 years, Sino Nation has accumulated close to 500 high-ranked martial artists. If we stretch this timeline out to 300 years, then the number of Sino Nation's high-ranked martial artists would have exceeded 1,000, or even thousands. Fan Ping also knew that martial arts had a period of nirvana. In the era of the sects, there was a period when rank 3 dominated. He knew that the others did not really understand this, so he did not ask too much. Instead, he asked curiously, "Can Paragon progenitors really live for thousands of years?" Qin Yaoting laughed. "I'm not sure. I don't want to find out either. There's no point in asking so much." Fan Ping heard that and did not ask anymore. He continued to listen to their conversation. This time, martial arts grandmasters were recruited. There were no middle-ranked or low-ranked ones. It seemed that the government had no intention of recruiting middle-ranked and low-ranked martial artists. The order given to the grandmasters was to arrive in Tian'an before May. As for how many people there were, the grandmasters were not sure. After chatting for a while, Qin Yaoting looked at Chen Haoren and Fang Ping. "You two shouldn't stay here all the time. Fang Ping, bring Haoren to see Yinshi. Let Haoren spar with the MC Mayu students, lest he's a frog in a well who doesn't want to improve." The old man was still very strict with his grandson. Recently, a few prodigy martial artists had performed very well. This made Qin Yaoting even more dissatisfied with Chen Haoren. He was only a peak rank 4 now. Too weak. Chen Haoren felt a little helpless. Peak rank 4, in SC Mayu, it was already very strong, okay? In all these years, SC Mayu had only produced a few peak rank 4 graduates. He had hopes of breaking through to rank 5 in the next few months. He might even become SC Mayu's first rank 5 graduate. In the end, his grandfather was still very dissatisfied. Fang Ping did not say much after hearing that. He gave Chen Haoren a look and walked out of the hall. After the two of them left, Qin Yaoting suddenly sighed softly. This time, after going to Tian'an, I don't know if I can come back. I'm not too worried about the others, but I'm a little worried about Yinshi. If Yinshi stays in MCMAU, please take care of her in the future. Huang Jing said in a low voice. Vice-Chancellor Chen doesn't need to remind us. Shin Yinshi is an MCMAU student. We will take care of her. As he said that, Huang Jing exhaled. I'm more worried that after the outbreak of the war in Tian'an, other areas will also be in danger. That will be troublesome. This is not up to us. The government will think about it. That's true. Fang Ping did not hear the Grand Master's conversation. He did not need to hear it either. Just the fact that 100 Grandmasters had gathered in Tian'an was enough for Fang Ping to understand that the opening of the catacombs in Tian'an would be worse and more dangerous than the other catacombs battles he had seen. Fang Ping understood, and so did Chen Haoren. Both of them did not speak until they found Qin Yunxi in the southern area. Only then was the silence broken. Qin Yunxi, who was cultivating, had just found out that her grandfather was here. She seemed a little excited. At this moment, Qin Yunxi had already built the last celestial bridge and entered middle stage rank 4. In the end, after a few words, Qin Yunxi's words made Chen Haoren want to cry but had no tears. Brother, why are you still rank 4? Chen Haoren looked helpless. After his sister entered MCMAU, she looked down on rank 4 martial artists now. After coming to MCMAU, did they all become arrogant? In the past, his sister was so obedient and worshipped him. Now, it was better not to mention it. The siblings chatted. Fang Ping did not stay for long. He actually had a lot of things to do. He let Qin Yunxi show Chen Haoren around first. After Fang Ping left, Chen Haoren chuckled. How is it? How far have you progressed? Qin Yunxi blushed slightly. Then she shook her head. He said he only wants to focus on martial arts now. He doesn't want to talk about relationships. Chen Haoren chuckled. I think this guy still has some ideas. Previously at Grandpa's side. After briefly explaining the 100 honing fruit, Chen Haoren laughed. I've asked around about Fang Ping's character. He's not the kind of person who gives out gifts casually. This kid is very shrewd. The meat is already rotting in the pot, but he's still beating around the bush to give you something. Hearing Chen Haoren say this, Qin Yunxi was a little excited. In her excitement, she suddenly said, Didn't Grandpa give him a gift in return? Chen Haoren suddenly felt a little tired. What was this girl thinking? Did she really want Grandpa to give him something good? Chapter 476. Qin Yunxi did not accompany Chen Haoren for too long. Soon, she arrived at the Martial Arts Society. In the office, Fang Ping was checking the guest list with Zhang Yu. When he saw Qin Yunxi enter the door quietly and start packing, he could not help but laugh. Why didn't you spend more time with your brother? President Qin took the initiative to accompany him. Halfway through Qin Yunxi's words, Fang Ping and Zhang Yu looked at each other. After a while, both of them looked at Qin Yunxi strangely. Are you selling your brother? Don't you know Qin Fengqing's personality? You're just throwing your brother to Qin Fengqing? Qin Fengqing, that bastard, wanted to cause trouble for Chen Haoren since the second championship. Now you're taking the initiative to send your brother into the tiger's mouth? Qin Yunxi was embarrassed by their stares. She blushed and said, It's okay. President Qin will at most beat him up. My grandpa also said that my brother lacks motivation. I think it's good that he gets beaten up. If he got beaten up, he would naturally have motivation. Qin Yunxi felt that she did not do anything wrong. Look at MC Mayu. Everyone grew up being beaten up. Without pressure, where would there be motivation? Fang Ping laughed. All right, since you said so, and your grandpa had the same plan, then there's no need to say anything else. After looking at the guest list, Fang Ping thought for a while before saying, I forgot to invite some people. He had seen this list once before, but he had been busy these days, so he only glanced through it. Tomorrow was the Grand Master banquet. Now that he looked through it again, he realized that something was missing. When Zhang Yu heard this, he said hurriedly, We've invited everyone. Who else is missing? This could not be ignored. Whether they came or not was one thing. Whether they were invited or not was another. Fang Ping pondered for a moment and said, The families of the instructors and students who died in battle. The Grand Master banquet is a compliment and an honor. It's not just a banquet for a few grandmasters. It's MC Mayu's honor. I didn't think about this before, so I made a mistake. In that case, I'll arrange for someone to receive them personally. Also, we'll personally pick up the disabled instructors from the old section tomorrow. Beside him, Qin Yunxi whispered, should we arrange for a few representatives to attend the banquet for MC Mayu's instructors and students' families? Noticing Fang Ping's gaze, Qin Yunxi said softly, to increase everyone's sense of belonging, letting your family attend the Grand Master banquet is also an affirmation for everyone. Zhan Yu pondered for a moment, then said, actually, someone mentioned it before, but I considered that there were too many people coming this time. Since we're all on the same side, it wouldn't be too late to celebrate in private. Fang Ping exhaled and said, please, invite them all. I haven't had much time to care about this for the past few days, so I've neglected it. For example, Teacher Tang's family, the Grand Master's families, the director's children, the instructors' families. Please invite all of them. What about the students? Parents of outstanding students can come. Is Fa Yuan coming too? Qin Yunxi asked excitedly. Fang Ping's expression stiffened. He could not help but ask, why did you think of her? Qin Yunxi snickered and said, Sister Fang Yuan is very cute. I think it'll be livelier if she's here. Fang Ping was speechless. He did not dwell on this and continued, we've sent invitations to the central government, the 3 ministries, the 4 houses, the houses of governors, the other 98 martial arts universities, the 3 major military schools, including Polaris City. The 3 major companies and some MCMAU graduates have also sent invitations. The sects have also sent some invitations. Take a look and see if anyone has been left out. It was not too late to remember now. It would be too late to remember when it started tomorrow. Qin Yunxi heard this and quickly looked at the list. As she looked, she said softly, will we receive a lot of gifts tomorrow? There were so many people, and they were all from big forces. The 3 high Grand Masters were holding a Grand Master banquet together. No matter how stingy they would not be too stingy, right? Fang Ping rubbed his forehead. Zhan Yu held back his laughter and did not say a word, looking at the list in silence. Qin Yunxi did not seem to notice anything wrong. Fang Ping looked at her a few times and could not help but say, Yunxi, you weren't so Philistine in the past? What are you thinking? We're discussing the guests, and you're saying that you'll receive a lot of gifts. Is this what you should be thinking? Qin Yunxi raised her head, her eyes slightly dazed. What's wrong? Fang Ping saw her expression as if she did not know what was wrong and said weakly, it's nothing. This woman has been led astray. Qin Fengqin, that bastard, is not allowed to appear in the martial arts society next time. Just as Fang Ping was talking about Qin Fengqin punched Chen Haoren in the eye. Chen Haoren's eyes turned purple in an instant. Qin Fengqin's expression was solemn. He frowned and said, there's something wrong with your combat techniques. The openings are obvious. As a middle-ranked martial artist, the brain is the part that we need to defend the most during defense. It's also the most dangerous weakness of middle-ranked martial artists. I've easily broken through the defense of your brain. Once you're in a battle, you'll be killed quickly. Chen Haoren rubbed his eyes and resisted the urge to cry. He nodded and said, you're right, but… Chen Haoren paused and said, you're rank 5 and I'm rank 4. My defense being broken through by you isn't entirely a problem with combat techniques. Qin Fengqin shook his head and said, that's where you're wrong. I'm only early stage rank 5. Don't tell me that you've reached peak rank 4 just to fight same-ranked martial artists. As the president of SCMAU's Martial Arts Society and the number 1 among the students, is your goal only to fight same-ranked martial artists? If that's the case, then the gap between you and the others will only grow. You don't need to jump ranks to kill the enemy, but you should at least not be killed instantly, right? Chen Haoren's expression turned serious. He said solemnly, what Brother Qin said makes sense. As a prodigy martial artist, it was indeed a little shallow to always set his sights on same-ranked martial artists. Seeing Chen Haoran's serious expression, Qin Fengqing nodded slightly. He was ecstatic. He had learned something again. Fan Ping, that kid, loved to stand on the moral high ground and say things that sounded reasonable but would cause others to suffer a great loss. In the past, when he beat someone up, he would usually be retaliated against. Now, look, after beating up Chen Haoran, this kid still had to thank him for teaching him. Qin Fengqing reflected on himself for a while. Some things still needed to be learned. Thinking of this, Qin Fengqing rubbed his palms together and chuckled. You're welcome, Brother Chen. Let's continue. When you can block my fist that hits your head, then this match will be meaningful. Then let's continue. Chen Haoran exhaled. Let's continue. Only by enduring more hardship during the training period would there be a higher chance of winning between life and death. By the time Qin Fengqing was beating up Chen Haoran, Fan Ping was almost done with the guest list. Finally, Fan Ping looked at Zhang Yu and thought for a moment. Tomorrow, all rank 3 and above students will gather at the school gate to welcome the guests. We'll also let everyone know that MC Mayu is not hosting a Grand Master banquet. The foundation of martial arts universities is still the students. All of them? Zhang Yu was a little surprised. Fan Ping nodded. Zhang Yu paused. After a while, he said, currently, there's 1 rank 6, 3 rank 5s, 48 rank 4s, and 412 rank 3s. Are we really going? Fan Ping was stunned. He had not asked about this for a few days. Only now did he know that so many people had entered rank 3. More than 400 rank 3s? Zhang Yu nodded. Yes, more than 400 now, and it's still growing. That many? Fan Ping rubbed his face. Recently, the number of people breaking through had increased. He was a little surprised. Zhang Yu's expression was slightly complicated. He said softly, at the end of August last year, when we took over, the school had 9 rank 4 students and 51 rank 3 students. Now, less than a year has passed. Fan Ping. You're the most suitable person to lead MC Mayu. Fan Ping shook his head. He was not in the mood to show off. He said casually, it doesn't have much to do with me. MC Mayu's explosion is actually the accumulation of 60 years. The ones who truly led MC Mayu to where it is today are the old Vice-Chancellor, and those old MC Mayu people. You don't know how many resources MC Mayu has stored. They're all prepared for this moment. The older generation live frugally. When they're injured, they refuse to heal themselves. They break a pill and use it. It's not that they can't afford it, but they want to save it for people like us. These people are MC Mayu's soul, MC Mayu's spirit. After a few simple sentences, Fan Ping said again. It's the same for so many people. Tomorrow at 6 a.m., gather at the school gate. Get into uniform and keep your spirits up. Don't let outsiders look down on MC Mayu. At times like this, we have to show our strength. The more dangerous the situation, the stronger we are, the more we have the right to speak, and the more people will pay attention to us. The weak have no right to participate in these. You have to know what I mean. At times like this, the ecological chain of the survival of the fittest becomes more and more obvious. Zhang Yu nodded. At this moment, he had also reached rank 5. Although it had only been a few days since he broke through, the stronger he was, the more he could understand this principle. The more chaotic and dangerous the situation was, the more power the powerhouses had the right to speak. The Grand Master banquet held by MC Mayu this time was also a fight for the right to speak. Even if MC Mayu did not have a rank 9 paragon or a rank 9, there were many middle and low-ranked powerhouses, and they were all so young, so they would also have more power. April 1st. Magic City began to bustle with activity. People arrived in Magic City one after another. Various forces gathered. Even in society, ordinary people knew that Magic City Martial Arts University was holding a Grand Master banquet. Many ordinary people began to discuss it. April 2nd. Early in the morning, MC Mayu was decorated with lanterns and streamers. The atmosphere was joyous. Martial arts universities were schools, but they were also not schools. They could even be seen as modernized, New Age sections. When a school teacher broke through to Grandmaster, it was also the glory of the entire school. No one was unhappy. In a hotel not far from MC Mayu. On the hotel rooftop, a few Grandmaster powerhouses looked at MC Mayu from afar. When they saw a group of students in neat clothes gathered at the school gate, a Grandmaster powerhouse could not help but sigh softly. MC Mayu is becoming more and more powerful. MC Mayu's strength does not lie in having a few more high ranks. Beside him, a female Grandmaster nodded slightly and said, "Indeed. Just the quality of the students is comparable to our school's instructors. Dozens of middle-rank students and hundreds of rank 3 students." In normal martial arts universities, rank 3 instructors were the instructors. Hundreds of students with the strength of instructors were even stronger than some non-full-time martial arts universities. A few people discussed in low voices. Someone laughed and said, "We're fine. It's always been the same. CCMAU, on the other hand, might be a little uncomfortable this time." "Who's coming from CCMAU this time?" "Su Zhan." "Him?" Someone instantly laughed and said, "Isn't he afraid that Li Chongqing will cause trouble for him?" "I don't think so. After all, this is a big event for MC Mayu. No matter how unruly Li Chongqing is, he won't cause trouble at this time." "It's hard to say, but I heard that Li Chongqing has been in closed-door cultivation recently. I heard that he wants to materialize his mentality, but he might not come out. Su Zhan might not be afraid of him. Su Zhan obtained a divine weapon earlier and his strength increased greatly. Li Chongqing, a fake rank 8, might not be able to defeat him. Dogs bite each other. These two old things were not good people when they were young. If Li Chongqing did not suppress Su Zhan, with that bad temper of his, Su Zhan's reputation might not be any better than Li Chongqing's." "That's true. We'll just watch the show." A few Grandmasters talked and laughed, looking forward to Li Chongqing coming out of closed-door cultivation. MC Mayu's entrance. The main gate was wide open. Hundreds of students held their heads high and chests out, their faces full of joy. Fan Ping stood in the middle, the students lined up on both sides. In front, a few rank 5 martial artists were leading. On the left, Zhang Yu was the leader. On the right, Chen Wolong was in the lead. As for Qin Fengqing, who was also a rank 5, Fan Ping used his poor image as an excuse, worried that his big bald head would ruin the school's image, and arranged for him to be at the back. Qin Fengqing did not mind. At this moment, he was chatting with Lu Dali, who was in charge of photography. As they chatted, he found out that Lu Dali was also in debt and was forced to work for Fan Ping. Qin Fengqing could not help but sympathize with him. "How much money do you owe him?" "Not much, a few million." "A few million? Then how many years did you sign a contract with him?" 10 years. Qin Fengqing suddenly felt extreme sympathy for Lu Dali. A few million, and he was sold for 10 years. Compared to him, Qin Fengqing suddenly felt that selling himself for 100 years was nothing. This guy was really miserable. How could a few million be considered money? At the same time, Qin Fengqing also looked down at Lu Dali. They were not the same kind of people. Lu Dali sold himself too cheaply. Qin Fengqing felt that he was much better than him. As they chatted, Lu Dali, who was filming, suddenly lowered his voice and said, "Mr. Fang's sister is here." Qin Fengqing tilted his head and looked toward the school gate. He saw a group of more than 20 people, walking toward the gate with some nervousness. There were old and young people, martial artists, and aspiring martial artists among them. In front of the crowd, a few young girls were looking over, their eyes darting around. They were a little nervous, but also a little excited. Qin Fengqing grinned. Fan Ping's sister? Fan Ping was his biggest creditor. This kid was also a real tycoon. Should he consider it? In front of the crowd, Fan Ping saw Fan Yuan too. He felt a little helpless when he saw the girl's excitement. He had not specifically arranged for Fang Yuan to come here. However, it was said that the family representatives of the instructors and students would be invited. Naturally, Fang Ping's family members were invited. Fan Mingrong and Li Xiuying heard that there would be many people, including many grandmasters. When they heard this, their legs turned to jelly. In the end, the Fang family's representative became Fang Yuan. Seeing that Fang Yuan had deliberately straightened her back when she saw him, pretending to look straight ahead, Fang Ping laughed in his heart. Ignoring the girl, Fang Ping took a few steps forward. With a solemn expression, he placed his right hand across his chest and performed a martial arts salute. He said loudly, "Welcome, MC Miyu's instructors and students' families. On behalf of MC Miyu, Fang Ping would like to thank everyone for their contributions over the years. You have nurtured countless talents for MC Miyu." Fang Ping saluted. At the school gate, hundreds of students straightened their backs and performed a martial arts salute. Some of the family members who came to attend the banquet had tears in their eyes. Some were at a loss and did not know what to do. Among these people, some of their relatives had died in battle in the catacombs. Inside the school, in the distance, a group of old people also had tears in their eyes. Today belonged to MC Miyu. Soon, the instructors and students' family representatives were led by others to the banquet venue. Fang Ping did not talk to Fang Yuan, but he could vaguely hear the girl's conversation with the little girl next to her. "Songya, this is my brother. Isn't he handsome? I told my brother not to bully your dad anymore. Your dad hasn't said that he's been bullied by my brother, has he?" The girl next to her said worriedly. "My dad came home a few days ago and said that he would fight to the death with your brother sooner or later." "Yuan, can my dad defeat your brother?" "Probably not. My brother has killed a peak rank 6 before. What should we do then? Why don't you buy me some delicious food and bribe me? I'll ask my brother to give in." Fang Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry when he heard the two girls' conversation. This old man Song Yingji was a rank 6 powerhouse. Did he have to go home and complain to his daughter for no reason? He even wanted to fight to the death with him. Had he really been provoked to the point of insanity? Laughing aside, Fang Ping did not have time to think about this. As soon as the family group arrived, the other guests began to arrive one after another. On the military department's side, Tian Mu came to congratulate them on behalf of the military department. As an MCMAU graduate, Tian Mu had deep feelings for MCMAU. When he saw the lineup of MCMAU students, he beamed with joy and patted Fang Ping for a while, almost making Fang Ping fall apart. It was just that he was a little stingy. The military department also sent a congratulatory gift this time. It was not resources, but a piece of calligraphy. Commander Legion of the military department personally inscribed the words, "Brilliant for 1,000 years." Although it was not a pill or an energy fruit, a piece of calligraphy by a top powerhouse was more precious than these. The moment Tian Mu opened it, Fang Ping did not see 4 words, but a sword glow that pierced through the sky. Fang Ping even suspected that it was an illusion. However, after a closer look, he confirmed that it was not an illusion. Ordinary martial artists saw only 4 words, but martial artists with strong mentality like Fang Ping saw mentality pressure that condensed and did not dissipate. When Tian Mu entered the door, he reminded him in a low voice. "This piece of calligraphy is for MC Meiyu, but it's mainly for Li Changxing's breakthrough. Give it to Li Changxing later. They're all powerhouses who use swords." These 4 words were condensed by Commander Li's mentality. It'll be of some help to him. Fang Ping was overjoyed and stunned at the same time. Had a top powerhouse reached this stage? Mentality condensed into words and left the body, yet it could still exist and not dissipate. One had to know that mentality materialized by Grandmaster powerhouses was not bad, but once mentality left the body, it would dissipate very quickly. Back then in gigantic Willow City, that rank 9 big willow tree could not condense mentality without dissipating and maintain it forever. Otherwise, the big willow tree would not need to guard the fountain of life all this time. The fountain of life was sealed by mentality. If the big willow tree did not maintain it, very soon, the mentality barrier would dissipate, and the life essence would flow away. Fang Ping did not think too much. Very quickly, he arranged for someone to send this piece of calligraphy to Old Man Li's closed-door cultivation place. Perhaps with this piece of calligraphy, Old Man Li could complete his breakthrough in no time. The military department sent Tian Mu, the education department sent Minister Wang, and the Department of Investigation Services sent Minister Hu, whom Fang Ping knew. Not all the people from the 4 houses of guardians were grandmasters. However, from the southern house of guardians, Wu Chuan specially rushed over. Initially, Wu Chuan was still guarding the Nanjiang catacombs, but now that the Nanjiang catacombs was guarded by Zhao Xingwu, Wu Chuan also specially rushed over. So far, he was also the only rank 9 powerhouse who rushed over. Under normal circumstances, rank 9 powerhouses would not participate in Grandmaster banquets. However, Wu Chuan had a close relationship with NC Meiyu. Specially rushing over was also expected. When Wu Chuan arrived, a few grandmasters also personally came to welcome him. On Magic City's side, Magic City's governor personally came over, giving enough face. On the sex side, Fang Ping also saw a few familiar faces. The Qintian Mountain Golden Body female powerhouse who quarreled with Old Man Li that day came with a few young female martial artists. A skinny monk from Wanshan Temple had arrived with Jiesa the monk. On Mount Wangwu's side, High Grandmaster Zhao Xingwu's son brought people to congratulate them. On the Martial Arts University's side, people from each school came, including Li Han Song, Wang Jinyang, and the others. In the business world, there were also some Grandmaster powerhouses who came to attend the banquet. In an instant, the number of Grandmasters who gathered in MC Meiyu exceeded 30. Including the 3 major companies, there were people who came too, but Jing Minghong was not seen. On Star Town's side, someone also came this time. It was not Lian Mo, but a rank 7 martial artist. He did not bring young people with him, but sent a car full of things. Including some information and combat techniques collected in Star Town, it was considered as returning the favor of MC Meiyu opening the combat technique room last time. The number of people increased. The banquet was also about to officially begin. Chapter 477. At the Grand Master Banquet. It was now divided into 2 parts, the inside and the outside. The Grand Masters and some representatives from other forces were in the inside. That was their place. Most people did not participate. The outside consisted of elite students from various schools and normal guests from other worlds. Fan Yuan was sizing Qin Yunxi up curiously. After a while, she asked, "Sister Yunxi, did you give me that crystal doll for Chinese New Year?" Qin Yunxi smiled and nodded. She whispered, "Fang Ping said you like it a lot. Is that true?" "Yes, I really like it." Fang Yuan's eyes narrowed as she smiled. She said slyly, "Sister Yunxi, do you want to be my sister-in-law?" Qin Yunxi blushed slightly. She said nothing. Fan Yuan giggled. "Then you have to please me. My brother listens to me. If you want to bribe me, I'll put in a good word for you." "Bribe? What do you like?" "Sister Yunxi, can you give me a few more of those crystal dolls?" "Sure. I want lots and lots of good food. Can you buy them for me?" "Yes, no problem." "Then, your bank card. Can I keep it for you?" "Huh!" The 2 of them chatted enthusiastically. Fang Ping, who had just arrived, heard Fan Yuan's last sentence. His face darkened. He walked over and pinched her face, glaring at her without saying a word. Fan Yuan looked aggrieved. She begged, "Brother, I was just joking with Sister Yunxi. There are so many people here. Stop pinching me." What a shame! With so many people around, she had lost all her face. Fan Ping pinched her face for a while more before letting go. He looked at Qin Yunxi and said, "Ignore her. She's always messing around." Fan Yuan looked helpless. "I'm not messing around. Isn't it good that I'm managing your finances for you?" Qin Yunxi giggled. She nodded slightly but said nothing. Fang Ping ignored Fang Yuan. He looked around and walked away. Fang Yuan was about to follow when Fang Ping turned around and said, "Play by yourself? Don't follow me." Fang Yuan pouted. She was a little disappointed. She had wanted to go with her brother and see if she could get some Grandmaster's autographs. She did not plan to sell it this time. It had been a long time since she did something like that. The most important thing was her face. Grandmasters were the biggest stars in the world. There were so many Grandmasters here today. If every single one of them were to give her an autograph. Just the thought of it made Fang Yuan excited. Fang Ping ignored her. Fang Yuan suddenly looked at Chen Yunxi and whispered, "Sister Yunxi, can you take me there to get the Grandmaster's autograph?" Chen Yunxi asked curiously. "You want an autograph?" "Yeah. I have a personal collection room. There are already many autographs and photos in there, but the best one is my brother. There are so many Grandmasters today. Sister Yunxi, is that okay?" Chen Yunxi looked toward the inner circle. When she saw her grandfather, she quickly nodded and said, "I don't know if I can get the others, but I can get a few." "Really? It's true. Sister Yunxi is the best. Once you get your autograph, you'll be my sister-in-law." Fang Yuan sold Fang Ping out without any pressure. Her brother was a bachelor anyway. Sister Yunxi was pretty and good at coaxing people. How nice would that be? Chen Yunxi's eyes narrowed into a smile. Fang Ping's sister had been easily bought over. If he had known it would be so simple, he would have gone to meet him earlier. Fang Ping did not pay much attention to what Chen Yunxi and Fang Yuan were doing. At this moment, Fang Ping did not go to the inner circle either. Instead, he went to the outer circle where the elite students gathered. There were many people here, and everyone had their own circles. The 98 martial arts universities and the 3 big martial arts schools had sent representatives. They had brought 1 or 2 elite students from their schools. On MC Meiyu's side, some elite students were also there to accompany the guests. When they saw Fang Ping, many people greeted him. Li Hansong was in high spirits. When he saw Fang Ping, he chuckled and said, "I thought you were going over there. Why are you here?" Fang Ping heard that and laughed. "That place is full of old men and old women. We don't have a common language. Why would we go there? If we juniors go there, we'll be tied down." As he said that, Fang Ping glanced at Chen Haoren beside him. Was there something wrong with this guy? He saw Chen Haoren and Qing Fengqing with their arms around each other's shoulders, chatting happily. Chen Haoren's eyes were still a little purple. Was he addicted to getting beaten up? Ignoring the two of them, Fang Ping greeted the others. Many of them were familiar faces. He had met them at the championship before. After a while, Fang Ping smiled. "Since everyone is here today, I have a small suggestion. How about you guys consider it?" "What suggestion?" "Let's hear it. You, Fang Ping, are the #1 martial arts university student now. We naturally have to consider what you say." Everyone laughed for a while. Fang Ping coughed softly and said, "It's like this. MC Meiyu, CC Meiyu, and NMeiyu have launched an e-commerce platform. Does everyone know about it?" "I've heard about it." Many people nodded. Fang Ping smiled. With the progress of society and technological development, martial arts exchanges have become easier and more relaxed. The purpose of the e-commerce platform's existence isn't to make everyone travel less. That's meaningless. Everyone still doesn't understand the true meaning of the e-commerce platform. You might not know this, but because of the e-commerce platform's launch, the few of us have been growing very quickly recently. Everyone is in different positions, suppressed different catacombs, and obtained different treasures. There are some things that you can't use, but it doesn't mean we can't. There are some specialties that we have, but it doesn't mean you have them too. For example, MC Meiyu's bodybuilding pill. I think many of the schools here don't have it, right? Someone nodded. That's right. The bodybuilding pill requires the blood of high-ranked monsters. Among the pills that the pill company distributed to our schools, there isn't a bodybuilding pill. Even if there is, it's very little. Even the instructors don't have enough. Yes, the big companies gave us basic pills, such as vitality pills, bone-honing pills, and viscera-shielding pills. These pills are enough for martial artists in the 3 lower ranks. However, for us, for instructors, and for some students with ambitions, it's far from enough. Resources must be used rationally and maximized. This is the embodiment of martial arts progress together. Beside him, Wang Jinyang smiled faintly. If you have something to say, just say it. Fang Ping smiled. Everyone here is a student representative from each school. The older generation may not understand, or perhaps they don't care about these changes. We're all young people, and we can't stick to the rules. My suggestion is to go online on all the university's e-commerce platforms. Everyone can exchange what they need. Beside him, Zhou Qiyu was not interested. She said casually, "We're not MC Mayu. Our resources are limited, and many of the pills and weapons come from the 2 big companies. What's the point of exchanging what they need?" Fang Ping was about to speak when Qin Fengqing scolded. "Long hair, short brains. What do women know?" Zhou Qiyu was furious. She was not the only one. Even Fang Ping was speechless. Are you here to help or cause trouble? Zhou Qiyu was not the only female martial artist here. Ignoring Qin Fengqing, Fang Ping smiled. "Everyone, let me finish." Having said that, Fang Ping said softly, "Up until now, haven't you all felt it? I'll give you the simplest example. In MCMAU, a normal vitality pill costs 3 credits. In SCMAU, it might be 4 credits. In NMAU, it's 5 credits. The value of credits is equivalent, but a school like MCMAU can get the most benefits with the least cost. What about you guys? You can't do this, can you? Don't you feel indignant? Don't you want to change? We're all human, and we put in the same effort. Why is it harder for you to get resources than the elite schools? Normal martial arts universities don't have many resources, and progress is slow. Now, it's getting slower and slower. Don't you all think about changing all this? Now, the opportunity is here." As soon as he said that, many people frowned. Even Li Hansong could not help but say, "Fan Ping, the difficulty of getting resources can't be changed by an e-commerce platform." Fang Ping smiled. "You're right. I know. Let me finish." Fang Ping continued. "This time, the first thing we need to do when the platform goes online is to unify." Unify? Yes, unify credits. Fang Ping nodded and said, "Before this, every school had their own standards. You used your credits, I used my GPA, and the value was uneven. 1 credit for you was worth 10,000, and 1 credit for me was worth 50,000. This was actually disadvantageous to the exchange of martial arts resources. Why does a country unify its currency? It's a problem of circulation. Why did the schools use credits instead of cash instead of replacing them with credits? On one hand, it's to let the students rely on themselves more. On the other hand, it's just martial artists. When they reach a certain level, the demand is too high. If they use money, it's not appropriate. It's easy to cause economic collapse. That's why martial arts universities use credits instead of cash." Fang Ping said and continued, "This time, I want to unite everyone to go back and work hard to make some changes. First, unify the credits and GPA of each school. Unify the value, unify the name." This was not a difficult thing to do. It was just a matter of habit. As Fang Ping said that, he took out a small notebook and said, "This is a simple unified standard that I've come up with. 1 credit is equivalent to 10,000 in cash. Students can use credits to exchange for cash, and they can also use cash to exchange credits. Both are 10,000 to 1. Seeing that everyone had something to say, Fang Ping said immediately, "There's a limit to using cash to exchange credits. It's not unlimited. For example, for rank 3 martial artists, the annual limit is 500 or 1,000 credits. This way, we don't have to worry too much about those rich people exchanging credits for cheap resources from the school. Yao Qingjun frowned slightly. What's the point of unifying? Fang Ping chuckled. Listen to me. The unification of credits between schools is just the beginning. Next, unifying the pricing. Wang Jinyang's eyes moved. What you mean is that if MC Mayu uses 3 credits to exchange for a normal vitality pill, you won't discriminate on the e-commerce platform, but will use the same 3 credits? As soon as he said that, everyone else was shocked. How was that possible? The difference between normal martial arts universities and famous schools lay in the difficulty of obtaining resources. If they were all 3 credits, it meant that the credits they used to buy a pill could be exchanged for 2 pills. Who would make up for the difference? This was not a small number, but an astronomical figure. Perhaps the difference caused every year could be as high as hundreds of billions. Who would pay for this? McMao? That was obviously impossible. At this moment, everyone's gaze was focused on them. Beside them, Qin Fengqin pursed his lips. He had seen it yesterday. He had said that Fang Ping was not doing well and that this was completely meaningless. Where would MCMAU find the money to pay for it? Moreover, even if they had the money, there was no need to let the other schools benefit, right? The president of Beijing Martial Arts University's Martial Arts Society said hurriedly. Fan Ping, you're not talking about unifying the pricing according to our school's standards, are you? If that's the case, then there's not much meaning to it. Or maybe we can compromise and follow the standards of the other famous schools? Someone asked tentatively. If they followed the standards of the other famous schools, they would have earned a lot. Fang Ping grinned. No, we'll follow MCMAU and CCMAU's standards. 3 credits for a normal vitality pill, then everyone will get 3 credits. Wang Jinyang's expression was solemn. Fang Ping, this is not a joke. If that's the case, then the demand from the other schools will increase greatly. Even if we distribute our own pills and weapons, it will still not be enough. There will be a huge deficit. Will MCMAU make up for this deficit? Fang Ping shook his head. Of course not. The government will pay for it. Fang Ping, there's no point in saying this. Some people were dissatisfied. If the government really wanted to do this, they would have done it long ago. It would not be Fang Ping's turn to fool everyone. Fang Ping grinned. Don't doubt me, everyone. The government is actually preparing to do this. It's just that it's still in the middle of negotiations. From the previous enrollment expansion, it can be seen that some resources must be reduced, and the supply to each school will be increased. The reason why I'm proposing unifying the pricing and the online platform is to push the government to complete this decision as soon as possible. If we don't work hard ourselves and completely rely on the government to push it, how long will it take? If we work hard ourselves and get things done, then it'll be easy for the government to kick the can down the road. If we work hard ourselves and get things done, it might be done in 3 months, or even a month. Martial arts must fight. This is a saying that we martial artists all know, but now, has everyone thought of taking the initiative to fight for it, Muddle through. Our predecessors did so, and so do I. This is what many people think. However, the predecessors are the predecessors, and the past is the past. The situation is different now. Everyone here is the elite of martial arts universities. Have you not noticed the deterioration of the situation? Even if many of you are about to graduate, just because you are about to graduate, do you feel that there is no need to fight for the benefits of martial arts universities? Martial arts universities do not only represent martial arts universities. This is a platform that openly recruits students from all walks of life. It is not a sect, a clan, or a completely militarized military department. We represent the entire society, the entire population. If we push for all of this, then some things will be much easier to handle. Now we need to let the government see our attitude. Honestly, for martial arts universities like MCMAU and CCMAU, pushing for all of this is meaningless. We are already enjoying these benefits. We are the beneficiaries of these benefits. Logically speaking, I would rather you guys not do it and continue to let us enjoy these benefits. However, martial arts universities are one, and everyone is a student. We stand at the top of the student body, so we have to consider the benefits of all martial arts university students. SNMAU Lu Shiji had been silent until now. He said, "If we unify the pricing and the online platform is unable to be pushed for by the government, then the platform will still be a decoration." Fang Ping laughed. "This requires us to try and work hard. In the later stages, my idea is to let the few major companies become the biggest suppliers and let them participate personally. Every year, they don't have to allocate pills and weapons to each school, but will be given a quota of credits. This way, we can save a lot of trouble, and it will be more open and transparent. The purpose of the platform is actually a channel for display. Other than that, I have a little immature idea." Fang Ping laughed. "Nowadays, everyone's gains in the catacombs are directly purchased by the few major companies. My idea is to set up individual exclusive areas on the platform in the future. Now, do you see the normal e-commerce platforms? When there is competition, there is pressure. When we have gains in the catacombs, we will no longer specifically sell them to the few major companies, but conduct private transactions through the platform. Or we can conduct transactions with some enterprises, then the situation will be completely different. We can use resources that we do not need to exchange for things that we do need. Many people actually have some things that they do not need in their hands, but they do not want to sell them. Why? Because of money and credits. Sometimes they may not be able to buy what they want in their own school. However, with the existence of the platform, everyone can even conduct barter. To put it in a more exaggerated way, everyone can even conduct divine weapon to divine weapon exchange. Or they can use large amounts of energy stones to exchange for some life essence. Exchanging energy stones for energy fruits. These are very normal operations. Why don't these transactions happen now? Because our circle is still too limited. It is limited to one place, one school, and one catacomb." Fang Ping exhaled and continued. "In the past, we did not have this condition. It was difficult for the government to promote it even if they wanted to. But now, we have this condition. Why don't we do it? Don't rely on the government for everything. All the departments are very busy defending against the catacombs attack. For this small matter, I think it is more suitable for us to do it ourselves." Everyone has seen the e-commerce platforms in society. It is because there are people who try that people will change their current habits. If everyone does not try, then would e-commerce still exist today? In the past, martial arts resources were scarce. But now, the number of catacombs has reached 23. Are resources really that scarce? It is you who save it. I who save it, don't take it out. Save it for retirement? When something that everyone needs appears on the platform, these resources will naturally be taken out and circulated. When that time comes, everything can be put to good use. Everyone fell silent for a moment. After a long time, someone asked, "Then who will be in charge of operating the platform?" Fang Ping was speechless. He smiled and said, "The current operator will be in charge first. In the future, we may hand it over to the government. Of course, the government is the most suitable for this kind of thing. Moreover, the platform is only a channel. It does not mean that the platform controls the resources. Do you understand what I mean?" Someone said lightly. "That is hard to say. If something good appears, the operator of the platform will naturally find out immediately. They may even directly detain it and not let others exchange it. This is very normal, right?" Fang Ping raised his eyebrows and said, "You are not even full yet. Isn't it too early to think about this? Of course, if everyone is really worried, then we can operate it together. This is what I mean. Each school will contribute 3 to 500 million and take 1% of the shares. Then, the platform will be entrusted to one party to operate. Each school will supervise it, or the government will supervise it directly. Is that okay?" To a martial arts university, 3 to 500 million was actually not much. Fang Ping had also said that it was just what he meant. However, someone still questioned. Then why not each school just contribute a few million? Fan Ping almost cursed. He put on a fake smile and said, "That won't do. Each school will contribute 3 to 500 million. The total is actually used as a deposit. No one will take this money for themselves. It is mainly to prevent future troubles, compensation, or actual losses. After that, we will use this money to make up for it. Moreover, without this amount of money, it will be difficult for the schools to be at ease. We can find a third party to notarize it. We can even directly deposit the money into the account provided by the government for future needs. 3 to 500 million in exchange for the same treatment as the famous schools. If you are still conflicted about this, then just forget it. There is no point in continuing this discussion. Everyone, please touch your conscience. Is there a need for MCMU to promote this on purpose? Some people may think that I, Fan Ping, have reaped benefits from this, but think about it. Is it really that great of a benefit? If it's great, I can let my company be in charge of express delivery and earn some hard work. This is probably the biggest benefit I can earn, right? Beside him, Qin Fengqing looked at him suspiciously. It seemed like there was not much benefit. Even the shares of the platform had to be distributed to the schools. At most, Fan Ping could get a little more, but what was the point of this? Fan Ping continued. Or this way, for example, we can set the price of the platform at 100 billion and divide it into 1,000 shares, 100 million for one share. Each school will subscribe to a portion. As I said, the subscription money will be mainly used for the platform's operations or other expenses. No one will take this money. However, as the one who proposed and advocated this, I will take 1 or 200 shares and not pay. This is just a gesture. What does everyone think? Fan Ping saw that they did not speak and said, "The platform itself is worthless. We also have to sign an agreement in advance that we are not allowed to buy or sell shares. This way, the number of shares is meaningless. It is just a name. If we really let everyone take more, you will not have the right to convince the public." Fan Ping spoke until his mouth was dry. If not for the fact that he could not go to the catacombs in the near future, he would not even bother to talk to them. His wealth was almost 100 billion. Otherwise, he would not be bothered to play with these guys. Someone muttered, "Is there a need to set the price at 100 billion? Fan Ping said with a straight face, "I've said it before. This is to show how much we value the platform. It's also to urge the government to quickly implement the policy. The more deposits we provide, the more the government can feel our urgency and sincerity. And this money will ultimately be used for the students of the schools, not embezzled by anyone." Someone else said, "Then if the promotion can't be completed in the end, and the prices of pills and weapons are not lowered, the platform's existence is meaningless." "What should we do with this money?" Fan Ping said lightly. "Then return it to the schools. Does anyone have any objections? Spending a little money in exchange for cheap access to resources in the future, I think everyone should not have any hesitation at all." Everyone discussed in low voices. After a while, someone said, "We still have to consult the school leaders on this matter." Fan Ping smiled and said, "Everyone can go and consult now. While the people from the government and a few departments are here, we can also test the waters. The reason why I did not tell them directly is that we are all young people, and everyone is more open-minded. An individual's power is limited, but everyone's power is limitless. We do not represent ourselves, but more than 100,000 martial arts university students, and even the entire society's ordinary people who aspire to martial arts universities. If you want to obtain something, if you do not fight for it yourself, are you expecting a pie to fall from the sky? I believe that everyone here will not be so selfish and only care about themselves. If that is the case, the education of martial arts universities will be a failure." Wang Jinyang chuckled. "Since you've already put the big hat on us, then we naturally have to fight for it. Oh well, since all the school leaders are here today, maybe we can quickly come to a conclusion." Chapter 478. Inner Area. As Fang Ping and the others entered one after another, they attracted the attention of many people. Soon, students from each school reported the news to their school leaders. With so many people talking, it could not be hidden from the Grandmaster powerhouses. Middle-ranked martial artists could hear most of it, let alone Grandmasters. After listening, the scene suddenly fell silent for a moment. Wu Kuishan glanced at Fang Ping. Why did this kid advocate for this? To put it bluntly, it was indeed an arduous and thankless task. However, if it was really done, he could increase his reputation. If MC Meiyu's initiative could really be pushed to completion, it would also be a good thing. MC Meiyu's position as the #1 elite school would be further confirmed. Other than CC Meiyu, the other 97 martial arts universities would almost all benefit. For this kind of thing, they had to consider their relationship more or less. Thinking of this, Wu Kuishan suddenly smiled and said, Minister Zhou, Minister Wang, you are all the heads of the core departments. Regarding the reduction of martial arts resources, has the government made a decision so far? As soon as this question was asked, everyone looked at the Grandmasters of the government agencies. The Grandmasters looked at each other. After a while, a rank 7 martial artist smiled and said, We have been talking about this recently, but it has not been officially confirmed yet. Because the impact is very big, we still have to consider whether it will lead to some unexpected factors. However, martial arts universities may become the first pilot unit. Wu Kuishan smiled and said, If that's the case, if the e-commerce platform goes online, the unified pricing system has a high probability of being realized in the end? You can say that. Minister Zhou nodded, but he still frowned slightly and said, It's best to let the government promote this matter. After all, some things can't be guaranteed, especially now, the early stage may not be approved quickly. Wu Kuishan smiled and said, Martial arts universities also have to put in some effort to fight for it. What do you think, Minister Wang? Minister Wang chuckled lightly and said, Fighting for it is not a problem, but MC Meiyu is so proactive. Vice-Chancellor Wu, for MC Meiyu, this is not very beneficial, is it? Wu Kuishan smiled and said, It's just fighting for the interests of martial arts universities. At our level, we don't need to be limited to one place anymore. Young people can see the long term. There's no reason for us to be left behind. Minister Wang said no more. Instead, it was the vice president of the pill company who frowned slightly and said, There's not much meaning in making such a platform. Moreover, private trading of martial arts resources is also extremely inappropriate. Indeed, it is inappropriate. Since there is a shortage of resources, we naturally have to focus on supplying them. Wu Kuishan interrupted. It's just a personal transaction, not a large-scale transaction. Before the emergence of enterprises that could openly sell elixirs and weapons, increasing private transactions was still beneficial to the reasonable use of martial arts resources. Actually, before this, some of us would also make some private deals. We've all done this before. Everyone had done bartering before. The platform's role was to act as a transfer station, or as a valuation agency. President Zhao, do you think that such a deal will affect the operations of the major companies? I don't think so. Nowadays, many of us have things that we can't use, but they're not easy to deal with. We can't bear to sell them, but it would be a waste if we don't sell them. We don't know what good things the others have, so we can't exchange them for specific things. Now that we have this platform, isn't it good? This isn't just a trading platform for martial arts universities. I think it can be open to all middle and high-ranked martial artists. Of course, I'm talking about the private trading section. Beside him, Fang Ping quickly said, The platform can also act as a security agency. If one party commits fraud, the platform will pursue the responsibility and compensate the party's interests. This way, everyone can trade with peace of mind. Actually, since the emergence of social e-commerce, I've always had this idea. In terms of martial arts, we also need a unique platform like this. Seeing that the CEOs of the major companies were still frowning, Fang Ping immediately said, Saying it's a martial arts university platform doesn't mean to exclude everyone. We actually hope that the government and the major companies can enter and supervise it together, building the largest martial arts resource exchange platform in the country, even the world. This includes exchanging, and communicating with some foreign resources. In the past, everyone went through the government level, through the higher-ups. Now, we can participate through individuals, making the resources flow more smoothly. The vice president of the pill company frowned. This way, those evil sect martial artists can easily take advantage of the loopholes. Fang Ping laughed. You can't say that. Without the existence of the platform, they can't buy elixirs and weapons. If that was really the case, the evil sects would have been destroyed a long time ago. The evil sects offline transactions are harder to supervise. It's different online. Those who have done transactions in this area should understand that as long as it's online, there will be traces left. As long as the real name authentication system is online, it can completely stop the evil sect's access to resources. Through data monitoring, if a registered rank 5 martial artist exchanged for 100 times more cultivation resources than a rank 5 martial artist, then there's a problem. We can follow the clues and quickly find out where the problem lies. Now, the pill company also does registration, but it's the simplest registration. If a person buys 5 million resources in Magic City, goes to Capital City and buys another 5 million, going everywhere, can the pill company make a complete accounting? It's actually easier to find the evil sect's whereabouts through data. Xiao Zhao probably doesn't understand the internet very well. If he did, he wouldn't have said things that let the evil sect take advantage of the loopholes. As soon as he said this, the vice president of the Department of Investigation Services raised his eyebrows. So, if we put an end to offline transactions and transfer all resources to online transactions, the evil sect will have nowhere to hide? Fang Ping laughed. This depends on whether the evil sect martial artists have a legitimate identity. If they have a legitimate identity, then it's useless. However, if an illegal resident wants to buy large amounts of martial arts resources, then it's impossible. However, previously, the black market has been banned repeatedly, creating opportunities for the evil sect martial artists. Fang Ping continued. The offline shops can actually be closed in the future. Pills and weapons are not daily necessities. Ordinary people can't buy much. Places with many martial artists like martial arts universities and the military department have stocks. Casual martial artists can also buy through the internet. As long as the delivery is fast enough, it's safe and affordable. Of course, it doesn't have to be closed. We can keep it, but it's still necessary to go online with the online platform. The vice president of the pill company said again. Since you said real name registration, including monitoring these data, then we can't let MCMAU operate it. Fang Ping laughed. This isn't a big secret. It's just how many pills and weapons they buy. Of course, this is also considered personal privacy. I said that everyone will monitor it together, not MCMAU alone. Actually, MCMAU won't be involved in the specific operation. These things will be done by Distance Platform. Distance Platform used to be my private enterprise. Now I mean that it will become everyone's. The operation will be handed over to the platform. The resources will still be where they were originally. It's just using the platform to carry out turnover transactions. Things like price and value will all be standardized. Everyone looked at each other. Wu Quishan opened his mouth again. It's just a test for now. As for the final result, if we find that it's harmful and not beneficial, then we'll just ban it. Fang Ping also quickly said. Indeed, it's just a test. It doesn't mean that this platform will eventually become an officially recognized martial arts resources trading platform. I just want to break down the trade barriers between martial arts universities. I'm not talking about replacing the functions of a few major companies or the government. The platform can't do this either. Before the monopoly on pills, weapons, and energy stones is lifted, the platform's purpose is only to facilitate communication. Minister Zhou, who spoke earlier, laughed. If that's the case, then it's your private matter. It doesn't involve government affairs. However, you have to do a good job in reporting. When it comes to the circulation of resources, sometimes it still needs to be supervised. Of course, Fang Ping said quickly. We're also working hard to help the government solve some of the problems in the early stages, in preparation for the next policy push. At this point, beside them, CCMAU's Suzhan said mildly, if you really want to go on the online platform, does every school have to pay a security deposit? Fang Ping laughed. It's not a security deposit. My idea is that everyone is the master, the owner of the platform. It's to prevent some martial arts universities from not being able to participate in the decision-making and operation, causing everyone to have no intention to promote it. Investing and buying some shares will help everyone take the initiative and promote it, instead of waiting to reap the fruits of others' labor. 300 to 500 million is not a big problem. The question is it necessary? Fang Ping said seriously. It is. After all, there are a lot of things involved. If an accident happens, at least the platform has the conditions to handle it. For example, if a student buys resources worth millions and millions and ends up losing them, the platform will investigate and pursue this responsibility. However, it can affect the student's cultivation, so we have to use these security funds to fill this hole. Also, the platform itself needs to pay a certain amount of security funds to the 3 major companies, and then obtain pills, weapons, and energy stones from the 3 major companies. We can't wait until the transaction is over before we pay these funds, can we? Fang Ping smiled at the CEOs of the major companies. Martial arts universities won't do things like putting things on credit first, and then paying. Please rest assured, the 3 major companies. We will pay a deposit in advance to buy these. Beside him, Lu Fengris said impatiently, it's not a matter of much money. At this stage, if the school doesn't pay, it won't be much of a problem even if you pay personally. I'm most annoyed by you people. You make such a small matter sound like it's a big deal. Someone did not know whether to laugh or cry. Dean Lu, you have to say, personally, we really can't fork out this amount of money. Fang Ping pretended not to hear that and continued, my idea is to divide the platform into 1,000 shares, 100 million per share. Everyone can subscribe as they please. If you subscribe more, you will get more benefits in the future. If you subscribe less, you will get less in the future. This is also normal. The upper limit is 10 shares, and the lowest is 5 shares. As the initiator, my company will be in charge of the operation in the future, and everyone will supervise it. My company will hold 200 shares. Actually, it's just for show. Because it can't be traded, it doesn't really matter whether it's 200 or 300 shares. The main thing is that it's more in line with the company's operating standards. As soon as he said that, someone was speechless. In other words, MC Mei won't pay? Fang Ping smiled. No, MC Mei will pay too. I'll subscribe for 10 shares, which are not part of the 200 shares. Everyone, I've already said that it's only for the sake of complying with the company's operating standards. At least let the company operate in this name to avoid wrangling in the future. Don't tell me that everyone wants me to invest 20 billion to subscribe for this empty shell of a company's shares. If that's the case, then whoever is willing to do it, then let them do it. If there's really someone who is willing to do it, forget about 200 shares, even 500 shares won't be a problem. Even if you pay 50 billion, it won't be a problem. Beside him, Qin Yaoting smiled faintly. That's what you say. It's not a problem to really give it to you, but let's make an agreement in advance. If you really want to sell, then take it as an unconditional withdrawal. We won't give you a single cent. Fang Ping smiled bitterly. At least give me some operating fees, right? That's not a big problem. Since we're letting you do it, we won't care about the operating fees. Fang Ping nodded. He looked at the others and asked, Seniors, what do you think? Many people nodded slightly. They did not have much of an opinion. Taking out 300 to 500 million. It was not impossible to give it a try. If it succeeded, it would really achieve the desired goal in the end. It would be a good thing for everyone. On CC Meiyu's side, Su Zhan raised his eyebrows slightly and said, "Must Fan Ping's company operate it?" Among CC Meiyu's affiliated enterprises, there are also a few in the e-commerce business. Fan Ping's company is more suited for this. This was not a problem of money. It was a problem of sovereignty. If Fan Ping... No, if MC Meiyu really took the leadership away, CC Meiyu would really have a hard time making a comeback in the future. Fan Ping smiled and said, "Instructor, this is my initiative, my suggestion. It's not appropriate to kick me away now, is it? I'll just tell you the truth. MC Meiyu is the top elite school, and I, Fan Ping, might be the future vice-chancellor of MC Meiyu. As for me, I do indeed want to take the leadership this time." To put it more seriously, this is also to increase my qualifications. At least if this is done, everyone will think of me in the future. If I want to be MC Meiyu's vice-chancellor, at least no one in martial arts universities will think that I, Fan Ping, am not qualified. When these words came out, everyone could not help but laugh. Many people looked at Wu Quishan. Old Wu had not even warmed his seat yet, and there were already people in MC Meiyu eyeing his position. Wu Quishan did not know whether to laugh or cry, but he was not angry. He only laughed and said, "If you have the ability, how about letting you be the vice-chancellor?" Beside him, Minister Wang said impatiently, "Enough. You guys, do you really think MCMAU is your private territory? You dare to say this in front of me. Minister Zhang is not here, otherwise you'll have a hard time." These two fellows, did they really think that MCMAU's vice-chancellor could say who he was? Without the permission of the Education Ministry, their words did not count. Fan Ping said happily, "Minister, I'm working hard in this direction, right? Now that I'm doing more for martial arts universities, the Education Ministry will be happy too. When the time comes, considering my contributions, maybe I can become the vice-chancellor? Martial artists must fight for it. I want to fight for it too." Everyone could not help but laugh one after another. Putting his selfish motives on the surface, some things were easier to talk about. On MCMAU's side, Wu Quishan did not say anything, so naturally, the others had nothing to say. Su Zhan still wanted to say a few more words. No matter how nice Fan Ping's words were, CCMAU would not be willing to let MCMAU take over the leadership. Other schools were not qualified to fight for it, but CCMAU was. Just as he was about to speak, the next moment, everyone's expressions changed, and they looked into the distance. In the distance, a giant bridge as long as 100 meters suddenly appeared in the void. In an instant, 3 giant doors landed. Everything happened in an instant. In the next moment, 3 beams of light shot out from the 3 doors. The 3 beams of light merged into one in an instant, turning into a giant sword that reached the heavens. In the blink of an eye, the giant sword turned golden. The golden rays illuminated the entire sky. Everything happened so fast that it could not be any faster. Only then did someone exclaim, "Li Chongqing's mentality has materialized. How is it so fast? Wasn't it released not long ago?" Before these people had finished exclaiming, the next moment, a shocking scene happened again. In the void, 4 small golden people appeared suddenly. Their silhouettes were faintly discernible, but each of them was holding a sword, fighting with the giant sword in the sky. This time, even Fan Ping was stunned. What situation was this? 4 small golden people, holding small swords, were attacking the giant sword in the middle in a frenzy. As for the giant sword, it was also fighting back continuously. The giant sword was getting smaller and smaller. In the crowd, Wu Chuan was slightly shocked. Desperate swordsmanship will. This is Commander Li's swordsmanship will. He's helping Li Chongqing sharpen his sword. Tian Mu also frowned. He's helping him sharpen his mentality sword. I thought it's just the sword intense mentality body. I didn't expect it to be like this. Commander Li thinks so highly of Li Chongqing? This guy's talent is only average, right? He's a rank 6 who killed a rank 8. As soon as these words came out, everyone was silent. Indeed, a rank 6 killing a rank 8 since ancient times. Li Changxing seemed to be the only one who had done it. He was a true swordsmanship prodigy. Long life swordsman Duan Changxing. This guy had gone against the grain to defeat a rank 8. In the air, the 4 small golden people were still holding their swords and attacking the giant's sword. The giant's sword became smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. However, everyone could feel it. As the giant's sword became smaller, the sword became more condensed. From a state of nothingness, it was showing signs of becoming solid. Just as everyone was watching, a silhouette soared into the sky. In the next moment, everyone was shocked again. Old Man Li, who soared into the sky, shone with a golden light. The golden light surged into the giant's sword instantly. This time, Wu Quishan's expression turned ugly. He roared, "Stop!" Fang Ping's expression changed. He quickly looked at Qin Yaoting, who was beside him. Qin Yaoting said with a solemn expression, "I don't know what's wrong with Li Changxing. He wants to unite 10,000 paths. Old Chen, what do you mean? Is it very dangerous? The so-called unite of 10,000 paths is... Let's put it this way. He wants to combine his mentality and golden body into one, forging them as one. Legend. I mean legend. Rank 8 martial artists, if their mentality or matter is indestructible, that means they are immortal. Including rank 7 martial artists, if their mentality is indestructible, rumor has it that they can be resurrected after death. Li Changxing wants to combine the mentality materialization and golden body now. From now on, he will be one with 10,000 paths. The mentality materialization is him, and he is that sword. Once the sword is destroyed, he will be destroyed, even if the golden body exists. Also, there will be no chance of resurrection. Fang Ping frowned. Why is instructor doing this all of a sudden? At this moment, Li Changxing, who was in midair, turned a deaf ear to him. He continued to merge with the giant's sword. Qin Yaoting frowned slightly. Actually, only he can do this. Of course, maybe you and Li Han Song. Mentality materialization and golden body at the same time. This is actually just a rumor. At least, it has never happened before, you guys. Rumor has it that when 10,000 paths unite, combat strength will be stronger. However, this is just a guess, not a real case. Maybe he wants to step into true rank 8 as soon as possible? What do you mean? Combining the golden body and mentality. In the future, he doesn't need to cultivate mentality. He can just focus on cultivating the golden body. This way, his mentality shackles will not exist. While cultivating vitality and golden body, his mentality will also grow. This was also the only method in the ancient records that clearly indicated that one could cultivate psychic energy. However, this method, on one hand, almost no one can do it. On the other hand, it is also easier to die. Qin Yaoting sighed. Beside him, Wu Quishan said with a gloomy expression, "If he does this, once he gets injured in the future, he will suffer more pain. Moreover, it will be difficult for him to recover from his injuries. Even the imperishable substance can't heal those injuries. It will be easier for him to be killed. Not only is it difficult to recover, the key is, after 10,000 paths unite, can he really still produce imperishable substance?" As soon as he said that, Fang Ping's expression changed. He said hurriedly, "Can't produce imperishable substance? How is that possible? He's walking on the extreme path." "It's an extreme path. There are some unclear records in the ancient records about this path. I'm not sure about the specifics. However, it can indeed allow people to unleash stronger combat strength." A few rank 8 powerhouses were discussing in low voices. Far away, in midair, Old Man Li suddenly swallowed the great sword in one gulp. Then, using his body as a sword, he started fighting the 4 golden midgets. Boom, boom, boom! A series of booming sounds rang out. Then, something that surprised Fang Ping even more happened. Old Man Li suddenly pulled the Celestial Bridge and Sanjiao Gate that were standing in midair into his hands. The Sanjiao Gate and the Celestial Bridge shrunk instantly. Then, he swallowed them in one gulp. Fan Ping was stunned. What was Old Man Li doing? Did he think of himself as Jiao? He was swallowing everything into his stomach. Qin Yaoting and Wu Quishan were not surprised. Wu Quishan said coldly, "Since its 10,000 paths unite, then there's no need for other external factors to exist. From today onwards, Li Changxing will only cultivate his body and not his life cultivation." The Grand Masters fell silent one after another. Although martial artists did not cultivate for immortality, among martial arts powerhouses, did none of them care about life and death? Obviously not. Ultimate powerhouses could live for so long because they cultivated their life cultivation. Li Changxing, on the other hand, did not cultivate his life cultivation. Under 10,000 paths unite, no one knew what would happen when he cultivated to the end. One had to know that there was a life gate in the Sanjiao Gate. Now that he had fused it, who knew what would happen? In the next moment, Old Man Li's body erupted with extremely powerful energy waves. The three gates and the Celestial Bridge collided continuously in his body, erupting waves of energy tides. Old Man Li waved both his arms and slashed at the golden midgets, laughing loudly. "Do you think I'm the last in rank 8? I was born to be first. 1 bridge and 3 gates enter my stomach. Only Li Changxing is left in this world." As soon as he finished speaking, a sword gleam that seemed to tear the void apart erupted from his body. In an instant, the 4 golden midgets turned into dust, vanishing into the void. In the next moment, as if teleporting, Old Man Li appeared in front of Su Zhan in an instant, striking with a palm. Bang! Su Zhan sank directly into the ground. Old Man Li laughed maniacally. "Son of a B***tch, how dare you suppress me? I can crush you with 1 finger now!" Having said that, Old Man Li looked around disdainfully, saying in an extremely savage manner, "Who's not convinced? If not, then come and fight me. Wu Chuan, what are you looking at? You want to hit me? I still remember that 40 years ago, you hammered me." Wu Chuan's expression was pitch black. If it were not for his reservations, he would have killed him with a slap long ago. He really had reservations. It was not an issue of ability. He was worried that if he hurt Li Changxing, he would not be able to recover. Wu Chuan ignored him. Old Man Li became even more savage, laughing loudly. "There's no one in this world who can match me. Last in rank 8? Mother Kerr, who made the ranking? I'll hack him to death with a sword." "Enough!" Wu Quishan barked coldly, his gaze icy. "What are you trying to do? Who are you trying to hack to death? Who allowed you to unite 10,000 das?" Old Man Li coughed dryly, looking indifferent. "I cultivate my own, you cultivate yours. Why do you care how I cultivate? Bastard!" Wu Quishan flew into a rage. His eyes were suppressing the endless rage. His anger was mixed with endless worry. If Li Changxing cultivated recklessly, he might really cut off his path to immortality. Swordsman longevity breaking longevity. Was he trying to destroy his own path to longevity? The gate of life was swallowed. He could feel the life force in Li Changxing's body slipping away. As for rank 8 powerhouses, no, peak rank 6 powerhouses, it was difficult for them to feel the slipping away of their life force. How many more years could this bastard live? Although martial artists were precarious, at Li Changxing's level, he would not die so easily. At this moment, everyone was silent. Fan Ping's face was full of worry. He was no longer in the mood to calculate whether those fellows wanted to invest or not. Old Man Li, why did he choose this path that had no future for no reason? He did not forget that Old Man Li once said that the path of martial arts could not be tampered with. When Fan Ping's celestial bridge mutated, Old Man Li even berated him. But now, he did not even have a celestial bridge. Old Man Li was still laughing and scolding, not caring about Wu Quishan's berating. He conveniently kicked Su Zhan, who was struggling to get up, chuckling. Yo, where's the Grandmaster Banquet? Why are you all looking at me? Eat and drink. If there's wine today, get drunk today. Who cares who's going to be buried tomorrow? Having said that, a bottle of white wine flew through the air. Old Manly drank it in one gulp, laughing. What are you looking at? Drink. Chapter 479. At the Grand Master Banquet. As Li Changxing's mentality materialized and 10,000 Dao became one, the atmosphere became slightly quiet. The silence was only limited to Grandmasters. Most people did not understand what was happening at all, and no one was in the mood to explain anything. In the venue, Old Manly was indescribably cool and romantic. Wine. That was a bottle of wine that was blown out. Fang Ping only watched in silence, not saying a word. Beside him, Qing Fengqing muttered, Old Manly is good. Fang Ping, 10,000 Dao becoming one, is it really that awesome? Fang Ping glanced at him, saying lightly, You want to try too? I have some ideas. Qing Fengqing touched his bald head, grinning. It feels very awesome. Look, Old Manly is so arrogant, even daring to provoke a rank 9. He has some ability. Is he ready to fight a rank 9? Beside him, Wu Kuishan glanced at him, suddenly infuriated. The next moment, Wu Kuishan seemed to be venting his anger, kicking over. Bang! A soft sound. Qin Fengqing turned into a black shadow instantly, disappearing without a trace. Fan Ping glanced at Wu Kuishan, sighing. Why did you bully Qin Fengqing? Should honest people be bullied? Besides, Qin Fengqing did not have the qualifications to become one with 10,000 Dao. You beat him up just to talk, old Wu was too cruel. Seeing Wu Kuishan looking at him unkindly, Fang Ping chuckled. Good kick. Vice-Chancellor's kick was just right, get lost. Wu Kuishan was not in the mood to joke with him, looking annoyed. Fang Ping laughed. Vice-Chancellor, take it easy. Look at Old Manly, how romantic, say, how long can he live? He could feel Old Manly's vitality fading away. Normal martial artists could not sense it, but his mentality was strong, he could still feel it. Being a tortoise for 8 to 10 years. If you fight too much, 3 to 5 years at most. Wu Kuishan's expression was ugly. Li Changxing was not old, only 60. At Li Changxing's level, he would almost never die of old age. As for Li Changxing, he might become the first rank 8 martial artist to die of old age. Fan Ping suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. He chuckled. It's been so long. I thought it would only be 3 to 5 days. If that's the case, then I'll have suffered a huge loss. I'm afraid he won't be able to repay the trillions he owes me. As soon as he finished speaking, Old Manly walked over with an arrogant look on his face. He chuckled and said, Return what money? Do I owe you money? Fan Ping's face was full of disdain. He could not be bothered to say more. After thinking for a while, he asked, What are the benefits of combining 10,000 Das into one? Old man, don't be muddle-headed and foolishly think of the unification of all Das. What can it do if there are no benefits? You know nothing! Old Manly had a smug look on his face. He said savagely, Old Wu, I'm considered powerful, right? Which Old Wu? Principal or guardian? Ahem. It's Old Wu beside you. Wu Kuishan looked at him silently, not saying a word. This made Old Manly a little uncomfortable. What was he looking at? Old Manly shifted his gaze to Fang Ping, chuckling. Him. Don't think he's strong. In a few days. I'm still getting used to it. In a few days, I'll beat him up until he calls me Grandpa. Do you believe me? So powerful? Of course. Old Manly said smugly. 10,000 Das into one. Do you know what that means? It means that it's very awesome. Do you know how much celestiality outbursts a rank 8 martial artist can unleash? Old Manly said gleefully. Let me calculate for you. 10 Hz mentality plus 100 Hz vitality. 1 C celestiality outburst. Peak rank 7 martial artists usually have mentality above 3000 Hz. In other words, they can unleash 300 C celestiality at most. In reality, most martial artists who can't reach this stage and achieve 100% control of their strength are only geniuses like me. Rank 8 martial artists are slightly stronger. Their mentality is as low as 4 or 5000 Hz, and the highest is probably less than 10,000 Hz. In other words, the most powerful kind. Even a peak rank 8 like Old Wu, if he really used all his strength to unleash a 1000 C outburst, he'd be dead. I'm different. Fang Ping chuckled. How so? Are you stupid? 10,000 Daos into 1. In the future, my mentality will be vitality force, and vitality force will be mentality. There's only one power. Vitality force and mentality will fuse and become one. Based on this, my vitality force is 100,000 calories. That's 100,000 Hz mentality. Cough, of course, that's the general calculation. Old Manly coughed dryly. Of course, it was not that powerful, but he still had to brag. As he said that, he continued, in other words, if my control of strength is 100%, I can unleash 10,000 celestiality in one move. Do you understand now? 10,000 times stronger than him, enough mentality, vitality is not a problem. Tell me, do you think I can defeat him in one move? 10,000? How is it compared to a rank 9? Old Manly continued to cough dryly. Then it's definitely not much worse than a rank 9. So, in a few days, I'll be the first rank 8. So powerful? Isn't it amazing? Then why don't you try fighting Guardian Wu now? Cough, cough, cough. Old Manly was speechless, too lazy to say anything. From the side, Lu Fengru and the others also walked over. Lu Pula glanced at Li Chaoxing and sighed softly. This old man has lived longer than you, but he didn't even think of seeking death. Why do you have to? Old Manly chuckled. Who's looking for death? Am I courting death? It was better to control one's fate in one's own hands. Old Lu, to put it bluntly, how many years have you been stuck at rank 7? You know better than me how difficult it is to cultivate mental power. Don't look down on me just because I'm pretending to be an 8th stage cultivator now. Once I'm truly an 8th stage cultivator, it'll take at least a year or two, and at most, a lifetime. Now that the situation had reached this stage, who knew how long they could survive? Now that he was stronger, he would earn more. 70 was a rare occurrence since ancient times. If one really wanted to live a peaceful and stable life without any battles, living to 70 was already long enough. What else could one want? If he couldn't live to 70, then even if the war came, it wouldn't be a big deal. It's a profitable business. Don't you know how to do accounting? All of you act like their fathers died. Those who don't know might think that I'm dead. Old Manly looked indifferent. He grinned and said, 10,000 Dao unification is good. From now on, 10,000 Dao will be one. I'll only cultivate the body, not the mind, and not the life. If the body is strong, the person will be strong. Vitality is easy to cultivate. If I can cultivate 1,000,000 cal vitality, I'll be stronger than a rank 9. Even a paragon might not be able to defeat me. The realm barrier is gone. Such a good cultivation path can only be cultivated by geniuses like me. You want to cultivate, but you don't have the qualifications. Fang Ping chuckled. I should have the qualifications. Old Manly glanced at him. After a while he said, You'll talk when you live to my age. I'm 60 years old, after all. You've remembered wrong. You're 61. The new year is over. Is that so? I'm already 61? Yes, the key is that you're still single. It's none of your business. I'm just afraid that you won't live long and can't pay off the trillions you owe me. Get a wife and let your oldly family's descendants pay off the money. Beside them, a few people glanced at the two of them. After a while, Wu Quishan said, You've already unified 10,000 Dao. I won't say anything then. I'm just reminding you, don't go to the catacombs too often in the future. It's none of your business whether I go or not. Old Manly said arrogantly. If I go, can you still bite me? Wu Kuishan glanced at him. Suddenly he said to Fang Ping, every time he fights, his vitality will drain faster. If he wants to replenish this vitality, he'll need a lot of life essence to maintain it. Fang Ping, I'll leave him to you from now on. The more he fights, the faster he will enter the aging stage. At that time, you can go to the royal city and steal some life essence to replenish his vitality. Can you do that? Fang Ping smiled. No problem. I'm familiar with the royal city. I'll go there when I'm free. Old Manly curled his lips. Mother Asterisk Kerr, an old schemer was an old schemer. Wu Kuishan did not say anything else. After thinking for a while, he suddenly cursed. Bastard. Commander Li specially helped you forge the mentality sword. You, Mother Asterisk Kerr, I really want to kill you. Commander Li had high hopes for Li Changxing. That was why he specially sent that piece of calligraphy. That piece of calligraphy was not something that could be given away easily, even to a peerless powerhouse. That was used to help Li Changxing sharpen his sword. In the end, Old Manly walked on the path of unified 10,000 Dao. Commander Li's painstaking efforts were almost wasted. If Old Manly did not walk this path, after mentality materialization, his mentality would be forged by absolute sword intent. His ability would not be weak, and his future would be brighter. Old Manly said nonchalantly. That will take time. Commander Li is also a guy who makes decisions based on the person. If he had sent me this piece of calligraphy 10 years ago, I would not have walked this path. Look at the situation now, who has the time to sharpen it? You! Wu Kuishan snorted, cursing in his heart. Commander Li sent this piece of calligraphy. It represented a lot of things. It even included. At the last moment, others could die, but Old Manly would be protected. It was not a problem for a peerless powerhouse to protect a rank 8. But now, was a rank 8 who did not have long to live still worth protecting by a peerless powerhouse? As for 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Li Changxing did not have the qualifications to be noticed by the peerless powerhouses. Even the current Fang Ping was not qualified. There were many geniuses. In the past 100 years, all kinds of geniuses had appeared. As long as Fang Ping did not become a grandmaster, unless he could kill a rank 8 and rank 6, those peerless powerhouses would not pay too much attention to him. While they were talking, the other grandmasters had also distanced themselves from this place. Fang Ping did not want to say much now. The others were not in the mood to say much either. In the silence, Fang Ping suddenly laughed. Old Manly, that person from CCMAU is staring at you. Hearing that, Old Manly first glared at Fang Ping. Then, he turned his head to look at Su Zhan, who was not far away, looking annoyed. He said arrogantly, Look again. If you look again, I'll knock you out halfway and bury you in a manure pit. Su Zhan's expression was dark. After a while he said, Why? Why what? Old Manly sneered. Do you think I'm as cowardly as you? When I am a rank 6, I will kill a rank 8. When I am a rank 8, I will kill a rank 9. As long as I can suppress you for one day, I will suppress you for the rest of my life. What does an old turtle like you know? If you can't do something big, how can you be called a martial artist? Su Zhan remained silent. Seeing this, Fang Ping suddenly laughed. Teacher Su, about the platform, you don't have any objections now, do you? Su Zhan looked at him for a long time before saying, As you wish, but… Halfway through his sentence, Su Zhan didn't want to continue. At this moment, MC Mayu had reached a point where it was close to insanity. In his opinion, it was a little too impatient and too eager for quick success. However, this was MC Mayu's own choice. Since MC Mayu wanted to go this way, he had nothing else to say. Li Changxing was walking the path of the unification of all Das. He was willing to risk his life. This matter was much more important than the platform. A small e-commerce platform was completely insignificant at this moment. Su Zhan did not have any objections, which meant that CCMAU had given up on this idea. Then things would be much easier to handle. The Grand Master banquet continued. However, at this moment, the minds of the Grand Masters present were drifting away. Li Changqing's unification of all Daos. Before coming, almost no one would have thought that this would happen. It was hard to say whether it was worth it or not. If there was an all-out war in 3 to 5 years and everyone died in battle, then the unification of all Daos would naturally not matter. However, others might not die, but Li Changqing would definitely die. It was just a matter of time. Just as the Grand Master's thoughts were in a mess, Fang Ping seemed to have forgotten about this matter. He was holding out documents for everyone to sign. Nanjiang Martial Arts University only bought 5 shares? So stingy? CCMAU is a famous school. 1 billion is nothing. I'll just buy 1 billion for you. Grandmaster Su, would you like to sign? Old Chen, SCMAU is also a famous school. How about 10 shares? FMS is the top military school. 10 shares isn't a lot. Fang Ping took advantage of the uncertainty in everyone's minds to patiently hold out the documents for everyone to subscribe. Some martial arts universities felt that there was still a need to discuss. Fang Ping did not waste time and did not pester them. His words implied that if they did not sign, they would be isolated by the martial arts universities in the future. Only those martial arts universities that signed their names were a family. Those that did not were not a family. After going around, there were 77 martial arts universities that had signed, including the 3 military schools. The least subscribed for 3 shares, and the most subscribed for 10 shares. After some calculations, they had subscribed for almost 400 shares. Fang Ping did not care. He quickly amended the rules and continued to ask everyone to sign. This time, he did not count the 1,000 shares. There were only 500 shares in total. He left 100 shares on Distance's platform as a sign. Whether it was 500 shares or 1,000 shares, to Fang Ping, it was the difference between 10 billion and 20 billion. Whether it was 10 billion or 20 billion, he would be able to meet the requirements for the system upgrade. Now, he was afraid that the system would not approve of it. Fang Ping did not know if this would work, but 10 billion wealth was not easy to earn. Currently, this was the fastest way to earn money, and it was only on paper. It was relatively easier to earn money on paper. He said that he could earn 50 billion in one go in the catacombs. However, if he did not go to the royal city to mine in the catacombs, it was almost impossible to earn that much money. It was not like energy mines could be found anywhere. The first 2 times were also due to luck. If he was unlucky, it was normal to return empty-handed in the catacombs. Fang Ping did not know how long he would have to wait for nearly 10 billion wealth. Moreover, he had to use his wealth. If he encountered some big items next time and could not bring them back, he would have to expand his storage space. If he did not have 100 billion wealth, he would not be able to accumulate so much after spending it. After busying himself for a while, the agreement was finally settled. As for the money, when the platform went online, these fellows would only send the money over. It would still take some time. I hope there's no problem. Fang Ping exhaled. If he succeeded this time, the next system upgrade would be 1 trillion. When he thought of 1 trillion, Fang Ping felt that he should not think about it anymore. Unless he really robbed the rank 9 monster plant's life essence. Otherwise, if he went to the royal city's giant mine, it would not be a problem of digging a little, but a lot. If he dug so much, unless the guardian monster plant and monster beast were dead, he would definitely be discovered. 100 billion. If I upgrade, what new functions will the system have? Fang Ping fell into deep thought. After he was done, Fang Ping began to eat and drink with everyone. On this day, Fang Ping drank a lot. The few MCMAU grandmasters also drank a lot, so much so that their eyes were not very clear. It was not until the banquet was about to end that Fang Ping saw Qin Fengqing rushing back angrily. This fellow did not seek revenge on Wu Quishan, but found Chen Haoren, smiling and inviting Chen Haoren to continue sparring at night. As Fan Ping listened, he could not help but laugh. The banquet lasted for a long time. It was not until 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon that the guests dispersed. As the guests dispersed, the news about Li Chongqing's 10,000 unification spread among the Grandmaster's circle. No one in MC Mayu paid attention to any of this. Fan Ping also sent everyone away, including Fang Yuan, who was full of rewards. Chapter 480. McMao. 3 days before the end of the Grand Master Banquet. Martial Arts Club. Fan Ping held the phone and said loudly, "President Jiang, isn't Huaxi Martial Arts University's efficiency too slow? Out of all the martial arts universities, you're the only one who hasn't received any money yet. Do you want to participate or not? It's fine if you don't want to participate. When the platform goes live in the future, Huaxi Martial Arts University students don't have to buy things on the platform anymore. Just be self-sufficient. Did they just fight? Alright, I'll check the accounts. The bank probably hasn't transferred the money yet." After hanging up, Fan Ping glanced at Qin Fengqing in front of him and said impatiently, "Why are you here again?" "Fan Ping, help." Qin Fengqing was a little dispirited. He wanted to cry but had no tears. "I didn't want to come, but I had no choice." Fan Ping was speechless. He could not be bothered to respond. Seeing that he was ignoring him, Qin Fengqing looked at Qin Yinshi, who was tidying up the documents, and whined, "Junior sister Yinshi, please, can you send your brother away? I admit defeat. If worst comes to worst, I'll let him beat me up." "I admit defeat." Qin Fengqing really wanted to cry. Everyone had left except Chen Haoren. This guy had masochistic tendencies. After being beaten up by Qin Fengqing, he had developed feelings. "I'm not leaving." These few days he would drag Qin Fengqing to spar with him whenever he had nothing to do. Beating him up felt good. It felt good to be beaten up twice. But when the number of times became 10 or 20, and he still couldn't beat that bastard to death, Qin Fengqing really wanted to cry. He wanted to cultivate. The more you beat him up, the less fun it would be. Now that Chen Haoren refused to leave and looked for him every day, he was about to collapse. Chen Yinshi whispered, "President Qin, you're the one who said that I wanted to spar with you. I'm just saying." Fan Ping interrupted her directly. "Stop talking nonsense. Go wherever you want. Yunshi, urge the bank to transfer Huaxi Martial Arts University's money over as soon as possible." "All right." Qin Yunshi started making phone calls. Qin Fengqing was helpless. He could not be bothered to continue this topic. He asked, "I heard that the Tian'an catacombs is about to open." "Yes." "When are we going?" Fan Ping glanced at him and frowned. "Why are you going?" "Now only Grand Masters are being recruited. Do you have the qualifications to go?" "I don't care. I'm going anyway." At this moment, Qin Fengqing was about to enter middle stage rank 5. The life essence that Fan Ping had promised was also in his hands. However, looking at the situation, if he cultivated for a while longer as a middle stage rank 5, he would go bankrupt again. When Tiannan's catacombs open, Magic City will no longer seal you. You can go to Magic City. Qin Fengqing immediately shook his head and said, "There's nothing good in Magic City now. Go to Tian'an. Tian'an is going to have a big war. Fish in troubled waters. Maybe you can pick up a rank 9 monster plant's corpse." Fan Ping was speechless. "You wish." She could not be bothered with him. Beside her, Qin Yunshi hung up the phone and nodded. "The bank said to transfer the money to our account immediately. That's good." Fan Ping felt a little uneasy. This was the final debt. Previously, when the other schools transferred money, the system did not react, and his wealth did not increase. This time, there was some suspicion of taking advantage of a loophole. He didn't know if the system counted and if it approved of him. If there was still no movement after this debt was paid, it meant that he had failed this time. Qin Fengqing saw that he was very anxious and whispered, Fang Ping, are you preparing to cheat them of their 40 billion? If that's the case, why don't you count me in? From his point of view, Fang Ping would not benefit from doing this. However, if he cheated these martial arts universities of 40 billion was also a very big fortune. Fang Ping said nothing. This guy's IQ was getting worse. Including the military schools, there were as many as 80 participating schools. There were dozens of grandmasters. If he cheated them of their money for these tens of billions, he would be digging his own grave. Seeing that Fang Ping was ignoring him, Qin Fengqing whispered again. Fang Ping, I'll tell you a secret. Do you want to hear it? If there's nothing else, then scram. I'm busy. It's true. If you help me get Shenhaoren out of here, I'll tell you. Say it first. I'll think about it after you're done. Qin Fengqing looked gloomy. After thinking for a while, he said, Yesterday, I was chatting with Fatty Jiang. Fatty Jiang told me that when the Yang family's elder ancestor fell, his corpse still hasn't been found. Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. What does that mean? Are you stupid? It means that the Yang family's elder ancestor's corpse might still be in Tiannan's catacombs. Seeing that Fang Ping was interested, Qin Fengqing whispered, A paragon powerhouse. Of course, it's our own people's corpse. We can't do that. But the paragon ancestor, doesn't he have anything good on him? If we find it and send the ancestor home, we'll keep his belongings. Maybe Polaris City will give us a lot of benefits. When Tiannan's catacombs opens this time, Polaris City will also send people there. Fang Ping frowned. The paragon ancestor has fallen. Since it's confirmed that he's fallen, why hasn't the corpse of such a big shot been transported back? Qin Fengqing whispered. I heard that the Yang family's elder ancestor fell when he was crossing boundaries. His corpse seems to have fallen into the bounded boundaries. Later, a great war broke out in Tiannan's catacombs. The other paragon ancestors couldn't leave at all. Or to put it bluntly, they're also afraid of death. If one can fall, then a second can fall. If that's the case, then it'll be troublesome. That's why the paragon ancestor hasn't gone there to search. This time, Polaris City has arranged for some people to search. Under the paragon, it's no big deal if he dies. Fang Ping frowned. What does that have to do with you? Polaris City has arranged for at least rank 7 and 8 martial artists to search. You're just a rank 5 martial artist. Do you want to go and die? The bounded boundaries are so dangerous. Even the paragon ancestors have fallen. Do you, Qin Fengqing, really think you're that lucky? Qin Fengqing's eyes were burning. I heard that there are ruins in the bounded boundaries. There are even ruins of humans from the ancient martial era. During the ancient martial era, humans entered the catacombs. Fang Ping, have you ever thought that humans were stronger than they are now? Also, the passageways are open now. I've said before that these passageways might have existed before, but now they're being opened by someone. This means, maybe a long time ago, our people entered the catacombs on their own initiative. Later, they retreated and sealed the catacombs. These catacombs passageways, I even suspect that they were opened by our human ancestors themselves. Opening passageways between two realms, what kind of ability is that? At least the current paragon can't do it. Of course, I don't know the specifics, but that's my guess. If that's the case, then what's in the ruins in the bounded boundaries? Cultivation methods from the ancient martial era? Combat techniques? Or even a mental energy cultivation method? Or perhaps treasures that pile up like a mountain? Fang Ping, aren't you interested in taking a look? Beside him, Qin Yunxi suddenly scolded. Qin Fengqing, can you go further away? Every time Qin Fengqing instigated Fang Ping to go to dangerous places, Qin Yunxi had tolerated him for a long time. At this moment, she exploded and said angrily, Fang Ping is already rank 6. As long as the Sanjiao Gate is sealed, my grandfather said that he can reach rank 8 very soon. When he reaches rank 8, Fang Ping will be the most talented martial artist among humans, the youngest rank 8 Grand Master. You're always making him go to dangerous places. Don't you find it annoying? Qin Yuqi's sudden outburst was something Qin Fengqin did not expect. Hearing that, he looked gloomy and said helplessly, Junior Sister Yunqi, I'm just saying. Fang Ping is not a child. If he wants to go, I can't stop him. If he doesn't go, and I'm not his opponent, how can I force him to go? Qin Yunqi did not care about this. She said angrily, Anyway, you're not allowed to talk about this anymore. Or else I'll ask my grandfather to settle the score with you. Qin Fengqin was too much. It was like this every time. Every time, Fang Ping would be in danger. This made Qin Yunqi want to beat him up very badly. It was only because she was not as strong as him that she did not take action. Fang Ping did not care about them. He tapped the table lightly, thought for a while, looked at Qin Fengqin and said, It's useless even if you say it. I only do some things because I'm confident. You're completely relying on luck. You can't even go to the bounded zones. Qin Fengqin. Do you think that you can pass through the forbidden areas of the major cities and enter the bounded zones? Qin Fengqin chuckled and said, We'll see. Anyway, this time when the Tian'an catacombs opens, I want to go and take a look. Also, old Wan will go too. Didn't his teacher fall into it 2 years ago? This guy. Maybe he'll go to the bounded zones too. We'll see. As for you, it's up to you whether you bring me or not. I don't want to be with you anyway. Fang Ping was about to speak when his eyes suddenly moved. He waved his hand and said, You break through to middle stage rank 5 first. Don't bother me if there's nothing important. As for Chen Haoren, let Zhang Yu spar with him. After saying that, Fang Ping ignored him and began to check his data panel. Wealth, 102. 2 billion, converted, vitality, 6,999 calories, 6,999 calories, mentality, 929 Hz, 929 Hz, bones honed, 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90%, storage space, 32 cubic meters, plus, energy shield. 10,000 wealth/minute. His wealth had increased less than 10 billion, but the difference was not big. It was about 9 billion. Fang Ping could understand. After all, he had invested some capital into the website. No matter how much it was, his wealth was now more than 100 billion. Fang Ping was overjoyed. Finally, it was more than 100 billion. The system had recognized the platform's value increased this time. Out of the 500 shares, Fang Ping owned 100 shares. The other 400 shares were valued at 40 billion. This money was said to be the price of the platform's shares, but in reality, it was not the platform's value. But the system still recognized it. Fang Ping saw the system panel turn black instantly, but he did not care. This was necessary for the system to upgrade. It was a good thing. At this moment, Fang Ping was thinking about whether he should pay more attention to the company's matters. This kind of literal money was actually easier to earn than real money. 1 trillion. Maybe it was in the company. 1 trillion, when converted into resources, was an astronomical figure. But a company worth 1 trillion. Although this was also difficult, it was not impossible. Even if it was not 1 trillion, it would increase his book wealth by 300 to 500 billion. That was also a good thing. Thinking of this, Fang Ping tilted his head and looked at Qin Yunqi, saying, If you have time, help me manage Distance Company. Anyway, just expand as much as you can. Later, I'll make a company with a market value of 1 trillion to play with. Qin Fengqin, who had not left, was a little speechless. This guy. He was always doing these ridiculous things. Sometimes money was useless. For example, if you had 10 billion, you might not be able to buy a divine weapon. Of course, money was not useless. At least things like pills and energy stones could still be bought. For big forces, money was also very useful. But Fang Ping, was it necessary to make his own company? It was not like he was too short of resources. Qin Fengqin could not figure it out, but Qin Yinshi did not care too much. She nodded, feeling a little excited. Fang Ping actually let her manage the company. What did this mean? Did he trust her? Or did he hand over all his assets? Fang Ping did not stay long in the martial arts society. For the rest of the day, Fang Ping did not even have the mood to cultivate. The system upgrade lasted for a long time this time. It was not until the 7th of April that the system upgrade ended. In the dormitory, Fang Ping hurriedly checked the upgraded system. Wealth, 102. 2 billion, converted, vitality, 6,999 calories, 6,999 calories, mentality, 929 Hz, 929 Hz, bones honed, 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90%, storage space, 32 cubic meters, plus energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute, plus aura simulation, 100,000 wealth/minute, plus. What's going on? When he saw the updated data on the system panel, Fang Ping's face was gloomy. That was it. 100 billion upgrade. That was the result? There was an additional aura simulation. This time, Fang Ping could roughly guess the function of this function. Aura simulation, or energy simulation. Before this, the energy shield was only responsible for shielding energy, not converting auras. Before this, Fang Ping could only do some sneaky things like digging holes. He could hide some energy fluctuations from the average catacombs martial artist, but when he reached the higher ranks, his little bit of energy fluctuations could actually be seen through very easily. Now, the new function could be considered to have made up for this. Maybe it could simulate the energy fluctuations of real catacombs martial artists. This function was very good. His camouflage skill could be considered fully accomplished. However, an upgrade of 100 billion wealth only added this point. Fang Ping's expression turned slightly ugly. If he were to upgrade again, it would be 1 trillion. How many years and months would it take to reach 1 trillion? That's not right. There's a plus sign at the end. Fang Ping suddenly realized something was wrong. He murmured, "A plus sign. Even the energy shield has a plus sign. What does this mean?" After thinking for a while, Fang Ping silently said to add an energy shield. In the end, this time, some more data was actually given. Energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute, plus 100,000 wealth/minute plus. A strange look flashed in Fang Ping's eyes. In the next moment, Fang Ping pressed the plus sign again. Energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute, plus 21 million wealth/minute plus. Fang Ping touched his chin and murmured, "The plus sign is still there. I can continue to add." Gritting his teeth, Fang Ping tried to press the plus sign again. After a while, the data changed again. Energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute, plus 1,000 million wealth/minute plus. Fang Ping hurriedly stopped. Very quickly, the data behind it disappeared. And in this short period of time, Fang Ping had spent more than 10 million wealth. This plus sign, could it be? Fang Ping thought of something. His eyes lit up instantly, and he said in shock, "Could it be, this is to add an energy shield for others? Plus sign, does it mean that there are a few people? If that's the case..." Fang Ping suddenly thought of an extremely important matter. If his guess was right, then was there a limit to the strength of the martial artists who added the energy shield? If there was no limit, if he added an energy shield to the peerless powerhouses and hid 3 to 5 peerless powerhouses to ambush the catacombs powerhouses, would he not be able to kill the other party quickly? There should be a limit, right? Fang Ping's heart was beating wildly. If there was no limit, then this insignificant function could even change the entire situation of the human race. Why did the peerless powerhouses not surround and kill them? More than 10 peerless progenitors should not have a problem killing a catacomb's peerless powerhouse, right? It was not that they did not want to do it, it was that they could not do it, and there was no other way. If more than 10 human peerless powerhouses gathered together, just that kind of aura alone could not be concealed. Ordinary people might not be able to discover it, but same-rank powerhouses would definitely be able to sense it. Therefore, this kind of thing was useless. Not to mention nearby, even if a rank 9 peerless entered the periphery of the catacombs, they would be sensed by the peerless powerhouses in the depths, even if they were thousands of miles away. Is there a limit or not? Also, not only the energy shield, there's also aura simulation, also with the plus sign. If it can really simulate the catacombs' martial artist's aura, then bringing a few rank 9 peerless powerhouses to simulate their own family. No, bringing Old Manly and the rest to pretend to be catacombs' martial artists, wouldn't it be easy to kill them all? Thinking of this, Fang Ping could not sit still anymore. These two functions might really change the entire situation of the human race. There was never a moment when Fang Ping felt that he was this important. Martial Arts Society. The moment Fang Ping dashed in, he pressed the plus sign on the energy shield. As expected, a blurry image appeared in his mind. Fang Ping instantly thought of Qingyunqi. The next moment, the dazed Qingyunqi in front of him, her aura disappeared. Qingyunqi herself did not feel anything. She only looked at Fang Ping somewhat blankly. She would be embarrassed if Fang Ping stared at her blankly the moment he entered the door. It really works! Fang Ping's expression was overjoyed. Without another word, he immediately ran outside. A few minutes later, Fang Ping found Huang Jing, who was in the office, and pressed the plus sign again. No! No way! Fang Ping's expression changed again and again. He could not help but scold. I knew it! Mother asterisk cur, you're cheating my feelings again! Huang Jing's expression changed too. Fang Ping. His arrogance had reached the point of no return. He was sitting in the office, and Fang Ping dashed in, first glared at him, then scolded him. This was too much of AF asterisk king bully. Even if you wanted to seize power, I didn't provoke you, did I? Did you really not take me seriously? Huang Jing's lungs were about to explode. His expression was livid. Without another word, he waved his palm. Fang Ping subconsciously raised his hand to counterattack. Huang Jing flew into a rage and scolded loudly. How dare you fight back? I didn't even cause trouble for you. You scolded me the moment you entered the door, and you still dare to fight back. Are you trying to turn the world upside down? Huang Jing was furious. He really could not tolerate this. Fang Ping, on the other hand, had come to his senses. His expression changed drastically, and he was so wrong that he was about to break down. He quickly said, Vice-Chancellor, I didn't scold you. Really, I promise, even if you gave me 10 guts, I still wouldn't dare to scold you. Huang Jing was not willing to listen to his explanation. In the next moment, the enraged Huang Jing no longer attacked through the air. He personally went into battle, grabbed both of Fang Ping's arms, gathered all his strength, and directly threw him out the window. This time, Huang Jing used all his strength. Fang Ping shot out, as fast as lightning. His half-golden body almost created sparks in the air, exploding all the way as he broke through the air. At this moment, Huang Jing let out a humph, slightly satisfied. He had roughly guessed that Fang Ping was not scolding him. No matter how unreliable that kid was, he would not be so savage as to run into his office to scold people. However, since he had already hit the wrong person, he might as well make the best of it and take the opportunity to teach this kid a lesson. Chapter 481. Southern District on the Sea. Fang Ping floated on the sea, thinking about life. He did not think much of being thrown to the beach by Huang Jing. After all, it was not a small piece of meat. At this moment, Fang Ping felt a little sad. The heaven-defying ability was gone. The energy barrier was useless against Wang Jing. Since that was the case, the imitation of aura would be useless. So there's a limit to my strength. Are there any restrictions for rank 5 and 6 martial artists? He had only tried Qingyunxi before, and Qingyunxi was only rank 4. At the thought of this, Fang Ping wasted no time. Very quickly he crawled out of the water, shook off the water, and instantly evaporated his body. Then, he quickly ran toward the crowded place. Half an hour later, in the corner, Fang Ping mumbled, "At most, they can only be of the same rank as me." He gave it a try. At most, he could only conceal the aura of an early-stage rank 6 martial artist, not even a middle-stage one. "Damn, I've been happy for nothing!" Fang Ping cursed under his breath. What a pity! Otherwise he would have brought a few rank 9 paragons to the catacombs. He could have turned the catacombs upside down. When the 14 paragons of China gathered together, they would be able to slay gods and Buddhas alike. Even if he did not need 14 of them, just one of them would be able to quickly pacify the catacombs and secretly kill those rank 9 city masters, monster plants, and monster beasts. What a pity! Fang Ping's heart was filled with regret. According to the current trend, he would only be able to bring along a desperate realm powerhouse to go out and have fun when he had achieved rank 9 paragon. This was a little unreliable. Who knew when he would be able to reach this realm? As for the maximum number of people the energy shield could carry, Fang Ping did not try. Carrying 3 of them would cost 10 million per minute. 1 hour would cost 600 million. 1 day and 1 night would cost more than 10 billion. Fang Ping felt that he would go bankrupt. The plus sign was still there, so he should be able to continue increasing the number of people. However, with 4 people, based on 10 times the consumption, 100 million per minute, that would be 6 billion per hour. Thinking of this, Fang Ping immediately dismissed the idea. What a joke! He had more than 100 billion wealth, but he was carrying 4 people. If he used it all up in less than a day, he could cry himself to death. There's also aura simulation. Can it simulate a high-ranked aura? Fang Ping continued trying out the new functions. After a while, Fang Ping sighed again. As expected, the system still had restrictions on him. He could only imitate the strength of the aura of someone of the same level, or lower grade. However, Fang Ping's eyes lit up slightly. This function was getting interesting. When Fang Ping tried to simulate his aura, many people's auras flashed across his mind. They were all people that he had come into contact with before. However, he could not simulate a high-ranked martial artist's aura. But the others could still do it. McMao. Southern Blood Chipool. Song Yingji was chatting with a teacher when he heard footsteps behind him. Song Yingji sensed the aura and turned around with a smile. "Qin Feng Qing, why did you come to the vitality pool today?" Before he could finish his sentence, he was stunned. The person behind him, who was wearing a mask, suddenly stretched out his hand and flicked his forehead. "Hee, instructor, I'm Fang Ping. I'm here to beat you up." With that, the person fled quickly, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. Beside him, the instructor in charge of guarding the blood vitality pool asked with a dazed look on his face. "Old Song. Did someone flick your head?" "I think so." Song Yingji was stunned. "Did I get flicked in the head?" "Fang. Not Fang Ping." The next moment, Song Yingji was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. He cursed. "Qin Feng Qing, that bastard, he's looking for death." Mother Kerr, do you think I'm an idiot? You think I can't recognize you just because you're wearing a mask? You think I can't recognize you just because you're pretending to be Fang Ping's voice? Since when did martial artists recognize people based on their voices? A martial artist's vitality force had its own unique aura. When this guy came, he could already tell that it was Qin Feng Qing. Not to mention, when he ran, that rich vitality force. Song Yingji flew into a rage. The instructor beside him held back his laughter and said, "Don't be angry, don't be angry. Calm down. Recently, Qin Feng Qing is probably under a lot of pressure from cultivation. He's a little out of his mind. It's just a flick in the head. Don't be calculative with him, get lost. Song Yingji was furious. He said angrily. That bastard Fang Ping keeps saying that he wants to beat me up. He's a rank 6 after all. I might not be his match. That bastard Qin Feng Qing is only a rank 5 and he dares to provoke me. I'm going to beat him to death today. Song Yingji left in a huff. The monk could run, but the temple could not. He would find Qin Feng Qing and beat the bastard to death. Flick his own head? Flick his own head until it swelled like a watermelon. Actual combat building. Tang Wen was cultivating combat techniques when someone suddenly appeared behind her, grabbed her shoulder, and tossed her up. Tang Wen could not control herself at all. She could not even step on air. In the next moment, she landed on the ground directly, then was tossed up again, then landed again, and tossed up again. Below her, a man wearing a hood laughed in a low voice. Big Lion actually dared to bully me, Fang Ping. I said I would take revenge. Tang Wen was about to cry. What was going on? Did President Fang not make peace with her dad? Why did he come to bully her again? And he did it himself. Did he have no shame? As she was thinking, the masked man seemed to have used a little too much force. Vitality force leaked. At this moment, Tang Wen instantly gritted her teeth. Qin Feng Qing, you're good. If I don't let my dad beat you to death today, I'm not Tang Wen anymore. How dare you pretend to be the president? I knew it. How could the president do something so senseless? So it was you. Did you think that I wouldn't recognize you just because you pretended to be the president? Tang Wen was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. Qin Feng Qing was already a rank 5. Yet he still did something so senseless. Did he have no shame? He even purposely framed her. That was too much. Tang Wen did not say a word. Keep throwing. I'll get my dad to throw you too. After a while, the masked man noticed that the people around him were dumbfounded. He suddenly laughed. Luo Xing? You're here too. That's great. I'll teach you a lesson too. The next moment, both of them were tossed around like rubber balls. They were tossed around until they were about to puke. This bastard was too much of a bully. After a while, the masked man left. Luo Xing was dumbfounded. He put on a long face and said, What did the president do? I didn't provoke him, did I? Idiot! That's not the president. It's that bastard Qin Feng Qing. Tang Wen gritted her teeth and retched. She said angrily, Let's go. We'll complain to my dad. You go to your dad. He's such a bully. Beat him to death. When Luo Xing heard that it was Qin Feng Qing, he breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, he said angrily, I knew the president wouldn't be so senseless. Brother Qin is too much. I'll go and reason with my dad. The next moment, both of them left to find their own fathers. On the 7th of April, something unexpected had happened in MC Mayu. Qin Feng Qing was crazy. This guy wore a mask and ambushed many people in MC Mayu. There were rank 6 instructors, rank 5 students, Zhang Yu, rank 2 Tang Wen and Luo Xing. Ambushing rank 5 and rank 6 people was one thing, but this shameless guy even bullied rank 2 people. Moreover, this guy deliberately pretended to be Fang Ping. All the victims were indignant. Even if you wanted to pretend, you had to be more convincing. Who could not feel your vitality force? Energy room. When Tang Feng, Luo Yichuan, Song Yingji, Zhang Yu, a lot of people came to his door and blocked Qin Feng Qing in the celestial cultivation room. Qin Feng Qing looked confused and angry. I didn't do it. You're still so stubborn. Song Yingji was choking with anger. He said angrily, Good boy, Fang Ping has reached rank 6, but he didn't dare to do something like deceiving his master and destroying his ancestors, and you did it first. I was guarding against Fang Ping, but I didn't guard against you. You're good. He was guarding against everything, but he was guarding against Fang Ping. That kid Fang Ping had said long ago that he would find an opportunity to beat him up. But Qin Fengqing actually dared to bully him. This was simply too much, to the point of no return. Song Yingji was furious. Tang Feng's face was also dark. Qin Fengqing really needed to teach him a lesson. Fan Ping was also there, asking Zhang Yu about what happened. After understanding what happened, Fan Ping said with a serious expression, "Qin Fengqing, you've gone too far. You actually flicked the instructor's head. This is too much. You even bullied Tang Wen and Luo Xing. You even bullied rank 2 martial artists. Do you have any humanity left? Apologize immediately." Qin Fengqing's grief and indignation could not be any greater. He said with a long face, "No, I didn't do it. I was framed. Someone must have framed me." Fan Ping said seriously, "Did I frame you? You even impersonated my voice. Am I as stupid as you?" Qin Fengqing suddenly thought of something. He looked at Fan Ping suspiciously. Seeing that the others were looking at him, he immediately shouted, "I'm framed! I have proof!" After saying that, Qin Fengqing immediately said, "It must be Fan Ping. He's the most sinister guy. Instructor Tang, I've been cultivating in the Celestiality cultivation room today. I didn't go out at all. Instructor Zhang can be my witness. He's been here the whole time." Beside him, an instructor who was newly transferred to watch over the energy room said, "Was it today? Qin Fengqing didn't go out at all today. I thought it was because of what happened before." As soon as he said that, everyone suddenly looked at Fan Ping. Fan Ping's expression stiffened. "Qin Fengqing didn't go out in closed-door cultivation? I thought he went out." This was not easy to explain. Song Yingji also looked suspicious. "Qin Fengqing didn't move that fast." Zhang Yu also pulled away from Fan Ping. He gritted his teeth and said, "Qin Fengqing and I are the same rank. It doesn't make sense that he could suppress me so quickly. I couldn't even fight back. I was still wondering how his strength improved so quickly." Fan Ping's expression did not change. He coughed softly and said, "Don't look at me. I'm not that kind of person. Moreover, why would I bully a kid like Tang Wen? I'm a rank 6 martial artist. I'm also a person who cares about my reputation." Qin Fengqing scolded. "You don't care about your reputation. It's not like you haven't done this before. You used to bully Zhao Lei and the others every day. You haven't done it recently, but that doesn't mean you won't do it forever. You're a shameless person deep down. There's no way to hide it. He definitely did it. If I did it, I'd be stupid to leak my vitality aura on purpose. Others might not say anything, but I can still hide it from Tang Wen. He even played hard to get, saying it was Fan Ping on purpose. It's not on purpose, it's this bastard. This bastard has a lot of things to do. He came right after you guys arrived. He's obviously here to watch the show. Instructor, beat him to death. Beat this bastard to death. He deceived his master and destroyed his ancestors. He actually flicked the instructor's head. This is a great humiliation. Instructor Song, if you don't beat him to death, you won't have the face to be a teacher anymore. Qin Fengqing cursed for a while, then looked at Tang Feng and said, Instructor Tang, you should beat him to death while you still can. Beat him to death first. He hasn't reached rank 7 yet. If he had, you'd still be beaten up today. Shameless. Despicable and despicable. Qin Fengqing scolded loudly. This was too infuriating. Fortunately, he did not go out today. Otherwise, he would have to bear a huge blame. Song Yingji and the others would definitely beat him up. 100%. This bastard Fan Ping had no conscience at all. How dare he deliberately make him bear the blame and get beaten up? Where was his humanity? Tang Feng and the others looked at Fan Ping dangerously. Fan Ping pretended to be calm and said, Vitality won't hide from others. My vitality is different from Qin Fengqing's. Tang Feng looked at Qin Fengqing suspiciously again. Qin Fengqing said gloomily, Don't look at me. This guy has a lot of tricks. He can even hide his aura. Since he can hide his aura, it's normal for him to disguise other people's vitality. Others can't do it, but he definitely can. At this moment, everyone looked at Fan Ping. What Qin Fengqing said was absolutely right. It was hard to say for others. After all, vitality was a martial artist's foundation. It was almost impossible to change. But Fan Ping. That might not be the case. Fan Ping was all smiles and said quickly, "How is that possible?" Tang Feng pondered for a moment. Suddenly, he said, "Whether it's you or not, you're the biggest suspect. Don't say anything else. These two are not good people. It's either Qin Fengqing or Fan Ping. Beat them up together." Anyway, beating them up together was definitely not wrong. In MC Mayu, only these two were not good people. At the side, the grinning Qin Fengqing's face froze. He was really King innocent. Trouble came from the sky. After a while, Tang Feng and the others left. They left satisfied. Fan Ping and Qin Fengqing looked at each other. In the next second, Qin Fengqing was furious. He said sullenly, "I'll fight it out with you. If you didn't do this, I'll kill myself." Tang Feng and the others might not be sure, but as the person involved, Qin Fengqing was 100% sure that it was Fan Ping who did it. Fan Ping sent him flying with a kick. He rubbed the dark circles under his eyes and said gloomily, "These guys wanted to beat me up for a long time. I made a mistake this time. If I had known, I wouldn't have come to watch the show." Qin Fengqing snorted. Then, he asked slyly, "You can change the aura of your vitality force?" Actually, Tang Feng and the others wanted to ask about this. However, after thinking about it, they decided not to ask. They would beat him up first. If they found out that Fan Ping could not do it, then he was innocent. Then, they would have no reason to beat him up. Fan Ping grinned and said, "Guess. Guess my ass. You tricked me this time and caused me to get beaten up. Tell me, how are you going to compensate me for my losses?" "Compensate? I'll give you a 10 million interest discount. Is that enough? I'm a generous person. 10 million for a beating. Where are you going to find that?" Fan Ping's face was full of generosity. He thought for a while and suddenly laughed. "What do you think? Next time, I'll pretend to be you and rob a grandmaster." Qin Fengqing's face darkened. Then, his eyes lit up. "Can I disguise myself as a grandmaster? Nonsense. I can only imitate you because your vitality force is too lousy. I can just imitate you casually." Qin Fengqing was dubious. He was not too sure. Only imitate me? Did that not mean that when this bastard did bad things in the future, he would have to be the scapegoat for him? When he thought of this, Qin Fengqing was about to break down. What made him break down even more was that Qin Fengqing thought deeper. He said in grief and indignation, "You're not going to King accuse me, are you? If I King married someone and you sneak in the middle of the night, CK, I'll kill you today." Qin Fengqing decided to fight it out with him. This bastard Fan Ping. If he did not die today, he would not rest. However, his strength was not as good. After a few minutes, Qin Fengqing was beaten black and blue. He finally chose to give up. If worst came to worst, he would not marry anyone. If this bastard Fan Ping did not die, he would not marry. Fan Ping did not care what he thought. After experimenting for a while, he was in a good mood. Although this aura simulation consumed a lot of wealth, 100,000 wealth for a minute, it was indeed a good thing. Imitating Qin Fengqing's aura today had almost caused Qin Fengqing to be beaten to death. Then, if he imitated a catacombs martial artist's aura, would it cause internal strife in the catacombs? Of course, today they were on the same side. His acting was more important. However, when he was in the catacombs, if he put on a good show, maybe he could really reap the benefits. If I had this ability last time, I could directly imitate the Sky Gate City martial artist's aura. Then it would be even more realistic. Chapter 482. After framing Qin Fengqing once and getting himself beaten up, Fan Ping was not interested in wasting his wealth points on this anymore. In the next few days, Fan Ping began to attempt rank 6 cultivation. He sealed the Sanjiao Gate. The Sanjiao Gate. Early stage rank 6 had to seal the Gate of Vitality. The stronger a martial artist's vitality was, the harder it was to seal it. In the cultivation room, there were 3 doors above Fan Ping's head. He stared at the first door on the left for a long time. This door seemed to have come from ancient times. Rather than saying that it was closed, it was more appropriate to say that it was closed. A door actually had a door. Now that the door was wide open, Fan Ping needed to close the door bit by bit. And this required him to expend a large amount of energy to move it. When he moved the door, Fan Ping felt that his speed had slowed down to its limit. The invisible door seemed to weigh billions of kilograms. After expending a tremendous amount of effort, Fan Ping had only moved a little. He was still a long way from closing the door. No wonder everyone spent so much time sealing the Sanjiao Gate. Rank 6 martial artists almost did not have any means to accelerate cultivation. Of course, if he had sufficient vitality, he could still transport it a few more times. Fan Ping, for example, could continue to replenish his vitality and continue to transport it. Other rank 6 martial artists could transport for 2 to 3 hours a day, but he could do it continuously. This was his advantage. However, in Fan Ping's eyes, it was still too slow. Based on the current speed, it would take at least a year or 2 for the Sanjiao Gate to be completely sealed. 1 or 2 years is too slow. If outsiders knew what Fan Ping was thinking, they would probably break down. Who did not spend endless time and effort to seal the Sanjiao Gate? Was it very slow for Fan Ping to take a year or 2? Others might think it was fast, but Fan Ping really thought it was slow. In the following period of time, he tried to use his mental energy and the power of the heavens and earth to move the energy. In the end, he discovered that the power of heaven and earth was quite helpful in sealing the Sanjiao Gate. The stronger the power, the easier it was to move it. But the consumption is also great. Celestiality consumed too much of his wealth. However, with 100 billion wealth in hand, Fan Ping felt that it was acceptable, albeit reluctantly. The faster it was done, the better. Moreover, Fan Ping even tried using his mentality to explore the Sanjiao Gate. In the end, he discovered that it was empty inside. It was just a stretch of nothingness. No matter how much he explored, it was the same. Fan Ping was actually quite curious about the Sanjiao Gate. This gate. Where did it come from? He knew about the Celestial Bridge. It was built by himself as a rank 4. However, the Sanjiao Gate had indeed appeared out of thin air. It was as if it had been pulled into reality from another dimension. Villa 8. Fan Ping revealed the Sanjiao Gate, asking curiously, "Teacher, can I send people into the Sanjiao Gate?" Lu Fengri shook her head and said, "The Sanjiao Gate lies between reality and illusion. Although it has materialized, it does not actually exist in this space-time dimension. It's a very complicated concept. It was even more complicated than the existence of divine weapons. Although divine weapons exist in between reality and illusion, in reality, divine weapons can also be used as ordinary weapons. Moreover, divine weapons are forged with materials that actually exist. It's just that they've been transformed by our mental power. Divine weapons can enter the Sanjiao Gate, and so can mental and vital energy, but other objects can't." Fan Ping thought for a while and said, "As martial artists become stronger and stronger, the Sanjiao Gate will become clearer and clearer. Teacher, when one reaches the true peak, can the Sanjiao Gate materialize and appear in the real world? I don't think it's possible, right?" Lu Fengru was not too sure. After thinking for a while, she said, "If it appears, then there's a desperate realm powerhouse in existence now. It's impossible that no information has leaked out. If it materializes, where do these 3 doors lead to?" Every martial artist, even ordinary people, might have the Sanjiao Gate. Then, with so many doors, do they lead to the same place, or do they lead to different directions? Besides, the Sanjiao Gate is still related to the human body itself. The empty zone that you see might be a zone that exists in your body. Lu Fengru spoke for a while and finally said, "Don't think too much. Although martial arts cultivation requires you to understand what you're cultivating, the human body is indeed an incomparably huge treasure. It also hides many secrets. Sometimes, if you don't understand something, you can only put it aside for now." The research on the Sanjiao Gate had never stopped. It was the same for the research on the brain nucleus. However, after so many years of research, there was still no substantial progress. Today, although there were still organizations researching it, they did not pay much attention to it. That was because there were countless investments, but the returns were far away. The Sanjiao Gate and the brain nucleus were only possessed by martial artists above rank 6. These martial artists had a lot of things to do. They did not have so much time to waste and be researched by others. Fang Ping nodded. He still had some lingering thoughts. If I could let someone enter the Sanjiao Gate and find a powerhouse to help me push the door and seal it directly, that would be awesome. It was difficult for him to move it himself, but if a powerhouse could enter, would it not seal it in an instant? At the thought of this, Fan Ping's eyes suddenly lit up. He said, "Instructor, previously Wang Jinyan used his celestial bridge to smash someone else's Sanjiao Gate. This means that the celestial bridge can actually enter the Sanjiao Gate. Why don't you use your celestial bridge and stuff it into my Sanjiao Gate and help me push it?" Lu Fengris said impatiently. "Don't always have sudden ideas. Do you want your Sanjiao Gate to explode? Our vitality is different. Our energy attributes are also different. Under such circumstances, once my celestial bridge comes into contact with yours, it will only cause a big explosion." Fan Ping's eyes really lit up this time. He said immediately, "What you mean is that as long as our attributes are the same." "No, I mean, as long as our vitality force roots are the same, your celestial bridge can enter my Sanjiao Gate?" Fan Ping suddenly shook his head, mumbling, "Yes, I have to try using my celestial bridge first. Use my celestial bridge and stuff it into the door to see if it can help me push the door open. If it works..." Fan Ping's heart suddenly thumped violently. If it worked, what did it mean? It meant that he could get someone to help him quickly close the door. No, those who were of a higher rank than him would not work. At most, they would be rank 6 martial artists. Even so, the strength of many people would still be much stronger than him alone. Moreover, he could also help others change their aura. You help me, I help you. Perhaps they could all quickly pass this rank 6 hurdle. Can it? If it works, in the future, the path of a rank 6 martial artist will be very fast. If it really works, then the function of the system upgrade this time will really be a god-level function. But this matter needs to be discussed. I can't tell normal people. Old Wang and Iron Head, can I tell them? Fan Ping was a little uncertain. If this matter was spread out, it would really be a big deal. Being able to help each other to close the Sanjiao Gate together almost subverted the martial arts cultivation path. It was even more subversive than Old Man Li's 10,000 Dao unification. Lu Fengris saw Fan Ping mumbling to himself, and could not help but frown. Don't mess around! Fan Ping, your own celestial bridge can indeed enter the Sanjiao Gate, but the power originates from one body. The vitality force that you produce is supplied by the celestial bridge. Therefore, it's the same whether you use the celestial bridge or not. Moreover, although they are all one body, you have to be careful of colliding with each other and causing irreversible injuries. Understood, understood. Fan Ping nodded. This matter indeed needed to be discussed. However, with this idea in his mind, Fan Ping really felt a little restless. If he gathered the strength of many people and closed the door, the time would be shortened a lot, right? It would take a few years for one person. What about 2 people? What about 3 people? What about more people? There was strength in numbers. One person might move 1 millimeter at a time. 3 people might be able to move 10 millimeters, not 3 millimeters. If I really gather the strength of many people, maybe I can close the door in 3 to 5 months. Once the Sanjiao gate is closed, my vitality and vitality will merge in an instant. When my mentality appears again, I can achieve rank 7 in an instant. If my mentality is nurtured for a period of time, I can even achieve rank 8. Or should I take the path of 10,000 Dao unification? No, I don't want to die so quickly. I have the system. My mentality will increase very quickly. I don't have to learn from Old Manly. At this moment, Fang Ping's thoughts were full of thoughts. He was considering whether Wang Jinyang and the rest were trustworthy. It did not matter if Fang Ping told them about normal things. Just based on the fact that old Wang risked his life to save him last time, Fang Ping really had nothing to hide. However, this kind of thing, Fang Ping's eyes flickered. He mumbled in his heart, "Actually, I'm not afraid of telling them now. Instead, I'm worried about them after they've revived." Fang Ping knew what his concerns were. If old Wang and the rest were not powerhouses who had revived, he probably would not have too many concerns. What was scary was that if these people were really powerhouses who had revived and recovered their past memories, then it would be hard to say. Today, Fang Ping still trusted people like Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong quite a lot. Qin Fengqing, this fellow. His celestial bridge has also mutated. It's quite powerful. However, this idiot. I'm worried that his celestial bridge will enter my Sanjiao gate and rob me. Fang Ping complained in his heart. Seriously, he believed that Qin Fengqing would do it. Once this fellow's celestial bridge entered, he would put on a posture of mutual destruction. The probability of him robbing him was not low. Should I give it a try or not? Fang Ping was hesitant. This matter was indeed a little difficult for him. The temptation of accelerated cultivation made him tempted. Not only would his cultivation speed up, but everyone would also help each other. After achieving rank 6, they could all speed up. If he achieved rank 7 one step earlier, he could even invite some rank 7 powerhouses to help them after they achieved rank 6. For example, Lu Fengru, or Old Manly? Right, what rank was Old Manly? Fang Ping felt a little dizzy. To be honest, it was really difficult for him to clearly say what rank Old Manly was. Rank 7 or rank 8? Fang Ping. Lu Fengru shouted, frowning slightly. What are you thinking about? Fang Ping came back to his senses, suppressed the restlessness in his heart, and smiled. Instructor, I'm thinking about Tiannan's catacombs. It's none of your business. You're not allowed to go this time. Lu Fengru frowned. When the catacombs open this time, there will be a large-scale battle between high ranks. Although you've stepped into rank 6, you're still a little short. Right now, Tianan has already started making evacuation arrangements. When the catacombs really open, except for high-ranked martial artists, those below high ranks will not stay. This time, Tianan was also prepared for people to rush out. Now, Tianan had already started a large-scale evacuation. The announcement to the public was that Grandmaster powerhouses felt the fluctuations of the earthquake, and an earthquake might break out soon. 2 years ago, Tianan did an evacuation once. After that, there was indeed a large-scale earthquake. This time, when the government announced it, the people were very cooperative. After all, in their eyes, Grandmaster powerhouses were omnipotent. They could fly in the sky and burrow into the ground. If there was an earthquake, there was an 80 to 90% chance of it happening. No one was willing to joke around with their own lives. Fang Ping smiled. Of course, I won't be so stupid as to rush over and fight with high ranks right away. I'm thinking of waiting for things to calm down a little before I go. Seeing that Lu Fengru wanted to say more, Fang Ping said softly, This time, I'm not going for resources. I'm returning a favor. I owe Wang Jinyang a big favor. During the battle on New Year's Eve, he, an early stage rank 5, helped me block a peak rank 6 martial artist. Instructor, martial artists know how to repay favors. I promised him to go to Tian and to look for his instructor. Since I promised, I won't go back on my word. That's why I must go to Tianan. Lu Fengru frowned slightly. After a while, she said, that'll have to wait for the catacombs to calm down. Also, the probability of Zhang Qingnan's survival is extremely low, or almost impossible. It's not a few days. It's almost 2 years since the last time it was closed. For such a long time, even rank 7 martial artists would find it hard to survive. Speaking of this, Lu Fengru thought of her father. Her father had disappeared for 2 years. Was he still alive? Without thinking too much about this, Lu Fengru continued. This time, Wan Jinyang going to the catacombs is mainly for comfort. If you really want to go down, don't make finding him your first goal. The key is to protect your own life. Understood. Fan Ping nodded and said immediately. Oh right, from MCMU this time. Who's going over? Are you going? Yes, Wu Quishan and Lian Tang will go with me. As she said that, Lu Fengru humphed. Li Changxing still wants to go. Does that old thing think he's not dying fast enough? Fan Ping said softly. Instructor Li, if you unleash your full power in a battle, will you lose a lot of your vitality? Lu Fengru's expression was solemn. She nodded and said, let's put it this way. Although we don't know how long a rank 8 martial artist can live, according to our speculation, rank 8 martial artists have a general idea of how long they can live. I don't dare to say much more, but 300 years is not enough to kill them. Right now, Li Changxing's vitality is depleting more than 30 times faster than the average rank 8. Once he fights, his vitality is depleting at least 100 times or even 1,000 times faster than the average rank 8. After a battle, he might lose decades of vitality. If he really fought with all his might 8 to 10 times, he might age prematurely and face death. Is there no way to stop this vitality depleting? No. At least, we don't know yet. After all, the myriad Dao unification is only recorded in the ancient books. It's not clear. However, what Wu Quishan said before was right. Life essence can replenish this kind of depleting. As she said that, Lu Fengru looked at Fang Ping and said, I'm not telling you to steal the life essence. I'm telling you, don't go. If you get your hands on the life essence, putting your own safety aside, with this, Li Changxing will have nothing to worry about. That old thing can't wait to kill a few rank 8s to show his existence. Giving it to him would be a waste. Can Instructor Li really kill rank 8s? Yes. Lu Fengru paused and said softly. Absolutely. These few days he's adapting. His vitality is very strong. Back then, he swallowed too much life essence. His vitality force skyrocketed. It's comparable to a peak rank 8's vitality force, close to the 100,000 mark. When he said that he could go all out and explode 10,000 celestiality, that was a bluff. However, if he goes all out, there's still hope for him to explode 2 to 3,000 celestiality. Wu Quishan holds a quasi-rank 9 divine weapon. His explosiveness might not be comparable to his. Wu Quishan killed some rank 8 martial artists. As long as the other party did not have a divine weapon and did not hone many skulls, killing them would be very easy. If he can do it, then Li Changxing can too. If Instructor Li has a divine weapon, can he nurture it? If you give him a rank 9 divine weapon longsword, will he become more powerful? Lu Fengru said again. He can use a divine weapon. Right now, his body is the Sanjiao Gate. He uses his body to nurture the sword. However, it's best not to give him a divine weapon. The more power he unleashes, the faster his vitality depleting. If you really give him a rank 9 divine weapon, he will dare to find a rank 9 to fight. When that time comes, even if he kills the other party, he will also die of exhaustion. Fan Ping's pupils constricted. He whispered, Instructor Li has a rank 9 divine weapon. Can he really kill a rank 9? It depends on the other party's strength. I'm talking about the weakest rank 9. They don't have a divine weapon and their strength is average. If he holds a rank 9 divine weapon, the probability of him killing the other party is not low. So powerful. Fan Ping took a deep breath. 10,000 Dao unification had directly made Old Manly the first among rank 8 martial artists. One had to know that Wu Quishan was rank 2nd among rank 8 martial artists in the world. Even he might not be able to kill a weak rank 9. Defeating him was a possibility. Lu Fengris said impatiently. Exchanging one's vitality for combat power is powerful. But what's the use of this kind of consumable item no matter how powerful it is? It's a waste to give it to him. But, as Lu Fengris said that, she sighed softly. This is actually a trick that only geniuses have. People like us can't do it even if we want to. Otherwise, if it were to be popularized, a bunch of old grandmasters might be eager to exchange their vitality for combat power. 10,000 Dao unification could not be popularized. If that was not the case, those grandmasters who died earlier would have done it long ago. These grandmasters had a clear memory of 10,000 Dao unification, which was only recorded in a few words in the ancient books. Actually, there were rank 8 old grandmasters who had tried it before. Unfortunately, it did not work. 10,000 Dao unification could only be carried out at the stage where mentality had just materialized. Fan Ping suspected that even he could not do it. His mentality might materialize in advance, but his golden body might not reach the standard. After chatting with Lu Fengru for a while, Fan Ping walked out of Villa number 8. When he walked out of the villa, Fan Ping thought of the matter of sealing the door together again. Should I say it or not? I'm so conflicted. Fan Ping sighed. Maybe he could try it out with Old Wang first. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.